Good evening. It is Monday, July 20th. It is 7:06 p.m. This meeting is
This conference will now be recorded.
July 6th, 7:06 p.m. This meeting, Conservation Commission will now convene. First up, we have DEP 104-1130, continued from June 22nd for Lot A West Street, Joe Miller for single family home. They have asked to have a continuance to the August 17th meeting.
So I make a motion, we continue the hearing to August 17th.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? It is continued to August 17th. Next up, we have notice of intent for DEP 1132, continued from June 22nd for Lake Drive, Ken Kozlik, for an accessory dwelling unit.
Good evening, I'm Keith Thurr, Chairman of the Printer. We have presented a new plan to the commission. We have taken the commission's request to move the auxiliary or accessory dwelling unit outside the 50-foot buffer to the wetlands. And so this is the limit of the lake here. This is our 50-foot buffer, and we're proposing the foundation outside the 50-foot buffer to the lake. The only other hardscape that we're doing is a retaining wall. We're replacing existing retaining wall in the same location, and we're doing a pavers outside the garage space. So that's the only hardscape that's proposed. The project will be the project requires us to increase the infiltration system. So we're adding to the existing, we're going to have to modify the existing subsurface infiltration to manage the new runoff with an additional piece of subsurface infiltration. And that's the proposed project. We did have a profile of the construction previously, so we retained the profile on the second sheet, but the profile shows that the structure begins 50 feet from the unit, and it's very close to where the existing garage is present. For the commission.
I'm very happy with it. I do want to point out something that was presented a few meetings ago, criticizing us for not having responded to the special permit application, because we should have reviewed it and made our comments then. I would like to point out that in that special permit, all structures were out 50 feet, which you were not proposing at the time. And I don't really appreciate being accused of being negligent in our review process. And this does correct that, and I appreciate that, and I'm ready to move forward. But I'd like to point out that I'm not real happy with being criticized, having our commission criticized for not having reviewed the spec during the special permit process, which we did, and it conformed to our regulation. But what you presented before did not, now it does, and I appreciate that.
I understand. Anybody else from the commission? Do you have any concerns?
Can you just clarify the elevation of the dry well? It says existing. Is it the same in the proposed?
So we have
That came up from when the butters stopping in. They are present here. I think they may have their own way of expressing their concern about drainage.
We have a proposed infiltration drywall down here, and that is the elevations that we're showing on the plan. This is going to be replaced in kind using the same elevations that there presently. This is at a higher elevation than what we're proposing closer to the roadway.
It's also larger, right?
So
It's going to have more capacity.
this mimics the size that's there presently in the upper section. This is a full additional. So we're actually multiplying the existing storage by 50%.
And then another question that came up was there is erosion controls and presumably some setup for the construction access in Lake Drive, which is a private road. So it's not necessarily our direct concern, but is there going to be any kind of issue with circulation as this house is being redeveloped?
So this erosion control shown in Lake Drive
Yeah.
is on the house side of Lake Drive. So
Sure.
it's basically along the edge of the grass or the lawn that's being maintained. So this erosion control is going to be at the limit of work outside the travel way of Lake Drive.
So
There's no,
some kind of long-standing kind of community-wide encroachment into the Lake Drive. It seems like this isn't making it any worse, but are you guys okay with that? It looks like there's some kind of, there's trees in the road, and there's an already existing driveway in the road, the gravel driveway and the current driveway coming out of the garage, right?
yeah, so on our existing conditions, this is the property line here. We have a gravel access up to the existing house. We have a brick paved drive into the garage, and then gravel that comes to the side of the garage. So we're going to maintain this existing gravel out to the drive. And we're going to, we have two garage bays, so we're going to have a wide paver apron for the garage. And the pavers are only going out to the edge of the maintained Lake Drive. These are going to be porous pavement installation.
Who owns Lake Drive?
I do not know who owns
Stan
it.
Labuja.
Stanley Labusha.
Communication. Stan Labuja. He lives in Beaver. And I'm in communication with him.
Well, the grass portion, by putting the sediment erosion control at the edge of the grass, as soon as that's removed, if somebody wants to drive down through their grass, they can do that. The pavers are more of a permanent solution, permanent structure in there. If that were gravel instead of permanent paver, then it wouldn't be obstructing anybody. Wouldn't be encroaching. I mean, I'm sure you have the right to, we can't give you the permission to work on somebody else's property.
Sure.
And if that, so you would have to get permission from the property owner to do that. We're not giving you permission.
Yeah, but that's outside the scope of our permitting. Why?
Where's
Yeah, it
the,
is in the buffer zone.
where's the buffer?
Into the street.
Where's it?
Out through the
This 100 foot is, it's still in our jurisdiction. I'm just, under any circumstances, we can't give permission for them. We can give permission to do the work, but we cannot give them permission to work on somebody else's property.
It's not authorization for that.
Right, it's not authorization for that.
I would just make sure that's noted in the order of conditions.
So if for any reason you didn't get permission to access the road in that way, then you would have a little bit of an issue. You'd have to come back to the commission and amend your plan.
We've sent an easement to Stan Labuja, all right. I've gone through a lawyer for this thing. understand, and I have communicated, so as soon as there's approval, then he will give us permission to access the road.
Make that a condition.
That's just a note.
That
So would there be would this be on their deed as well, the owner of the drive, this order?
So Lake Drive is the old B&M rail bed. It is a right of way.
It doesn't need to go on, an order doesn't
No.
need to go on.
No.
I didn't even see that until this gentleman here, a resident had come by, and I was like, oh yeah, look at that. And, I know I had gone through an already an order and got a COC in the back, so I didn't know how y'all handled it.
Is there any other concerns?
Good pickup, thanks. I'm all set.
Yeah, just, you all set?
I'm good.
Okay. I am now going to open it up for public comment.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
Okay, Lake Drive, my parents bought this piece of property,
If we could have your name and where you live and if,
Okay,
and
And you could come up to a microphone? So
There's a microphone.
Okay.
Or you can use mine.
There we go. My name's Michael Parker. I own 49 Lake Drive. I live at 63 Hillcrest Avenue in South Valley. My concerns with this project is I'm not objecting to the project, but the property line and where they're going to put the silt fence is in the middle of right-of-ways to the properties along Lake Drive. What you're going by for the travel lane is the town easement for the sewers. That has nothing to do with the right-of-ways and that. When you did your last project, you dragged all that grade into Lake Drive to impede the access to Lake Drive. If you remove that back to the property line, there wouldn't be an issue with me. So when they put that silt fence up, that's actually going to be in the middle of the old railroad bed, which is also the right-of-ways to the properties on Lake Drive. And they've encroached into that property 15 feet from the end of their property into Lake Drive. And I just don't understand how that can be. That's like adding 1,500 square feet onto their property.
Could the sediment erosion barrier be placed on the property line?
So we are happy to put the sediment erosion control barrier at the limit of the work and relocate it back to the property line when the work is completed, to make the connection between the property and Lake Drive. Again, as I was saying, this edge here that was surveyed during our survey, this is the edge of what is being utilized as a travel way.
Not so.
I'm sorry. The vehicles are traveling on Lake Drive, and they have edge of gravel on one side, they have edge of gravel on the other side.
You did until you dragged all the stone down into that section that we're complaining about. I mean, you're 15 feet into Lake Drive.
So a standard driveway has to stretch into the town right away because there's a grass tree belt to the actual edge of where the vehicles travel. And the intention for this project is to make that connection between our property out to the edge of the travel way with, we're not even modifying this gravel, but we're making a connection from the new garage, which is at the face of the old garage, making a connection from the garage space out to where the actual gravel travel way is in order to do our work. We will discuss with the owner of Lake Drive and potentially pull the pavers back from where we're proposing now. But if we're doing work to make the, remove grass, to put gravel, to put a durable surface for vehicles to travel on, we need to put our erosion controls around the limit of our work. So we will, when we are working in that area, we will put our erosion controls out as soon as we're finished and we have it stable and there's no potential for erosion. We will remove the erosion controls from that location, move it back to the property.
That still doesn't address my concern, as I have a deeded right of way on that property. And that work there is going to go into my deeded right of way. What you're looking at, the travel lane, is the town easement for the sewer connection. That's not the travel way. That's the town easement for the sewer connection. That's the section that the town maintains, but that's not the travel way that's been for 60 years.
May I reply? So this line here, sir, that was surveyed in our field. We physically went to the property. We did a survey. We located the difference between vegetation and where the vehicles are traveling. And we located on the opposite side where the vegetation and vehicles are traveling. We are saying that this location here is where people that are traveling up and down this road travel.
Sir, I travel that road every single day. Not so. And you're talking vegetation. If you weed whack the vegetation, that wouldn't be there. You let that grow into the roadway.
What
I know you can't explain it. That's what I'm asking.
Instead of putting in pavers, just a gravel at grade in the section that's off your property.
Are you,
Fine.
we agreed to that. We will put pavers right to the property line for an apron to the garage. But it will be gravel from the pavers out to where the vehicles travel in Lake Drive.
And that will be at existing grade?
Everything's at existing.
So that
We're
will-
not adding.
That won't,
I don't think anything's gonna obstruct.
I don't think that, but I mean, if you reduce, if we just do gravel out there instead of the pavers, we don't have any kind of impervious surface. We don't have anything that can be argued. If somebody wanted to drive through that area, they could drive through that area. And I mean, I think it's if they're willing to just do gravel in that area, I don't see any problem with gravel in that area, not the pavers.
No, as long as they restore the road to the full width that it's been.
Well,
I don't, Keith, you're not planning on working in the road where travel currently takes place, are you?
That's correct. We are not looking to change the width of the gravel road.
But your silt fence is going to be in the middle of the right of way.
No, sir.
Yes.
So if I may point something out there, I think I understand what's going on here. 202 State Street.
Mhm.
You realize that's a 50-foot road and only 26 feet of it is paved? You know there's 14 feet on either side of that pavement, state owns, is part of the right of way?
I did not know that.
So
I mean, I'm
there's
sure
actually,
you're
there isn't actually enough room there for 4 lanes from here to the
And
baby
eventually it
line.
will, and eventually it will be.
Not in my lifetime,
Well,
but
it's coming.
nonetheless, so I'm sure that the right of way here is a lot wider
That's not,
on
it's 20,
paper,
it's
on
20 feet.
paper than what they're actually using.
And if they pull the pavers out, everybody that uses this road has a right to get from their garage.
Oh, absolutely.
So if
That's
they-
not what I'm complaining about.
If they put gravel there and bring the silt fence back up to the property line as soon as they've done that gravel work through the road, then it's gonna be just the way it is now. and people can drive down their lawn, down the lawn if you want to.
No, it's not a line, it's
Yeah, whatever.
It's
I mean,
vegetation that
if you
grew.
need it, I mean, there's an 18-inch oak tree in there.
Mhm. That was planted on the edge of the original roadway. And if you go to the next property over, which used to be Rodman, there's a pine tree that was planted on the edge of the roadway. And if you go down to my property, there was a brown birch that was planted on the edge of the roadway. So that oak tree that's on your property is actually the edge of the roadway.
Okay, so what they're doing now is just gravel inside the layout of the road, so they're not putting any structures in there except for just gravel and making it so they can get into their property. And then it shouldn't be an issue anymore.
As long as everything stays grade to the road. I mean, the way it is now, their grade coming off their property is into
I
the
am
roadway.
going to shut this off. At this point, we're not dealing with wetland issues. We're not dealing with the Wetlands Protection Act. This is really beyond the scope of discussion to this board.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I would like to see an order, a condition in the order that says that anything off the property will be for the driveway will be gravel and no pavers. That's what I would like. I don't know what it
Is there any other public discussion on this? Questions, concerns? Hearing none. Wishes of the board.
I move we issue an order of conditions allowing the project as redesigned.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Gentlemen, for your time, appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, next up, we have a request for determination of applicability for 26-1752 Summit Street. Paul DeRoche.
Wait, hold on, I got to get this thing going here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
Hi, Neil Jackson, J&P Engineering Services. I'm here representing Paul and Carol DeRoche for a repair of a failed septic system at 52 Summit Street. Proposing the proposed repaired septic will be 79 feet to the BDW. No work is proposed within 54 feet of the BDW. The current system is in the water table. It's backing up into the house a little bit, but it's gonna get worse, obviously, so time is of the essence. Get this repaired.
This is behind the house or in front of it?
Yeah, now,
Couldn't it be moved up the hill away from the,
well, it's 115 feet from the well now, and it kind of grades up pretty steep if you get towards the house more.
I'm sorry, what was it?
The grade kind of gets steeper towards the house, so we kind of found a level spot.
So it's 115 from the leach field
Right.
now.
Yep.
You turn it so it's perpendicular, get it a little bit farther.
It's all ledge. Unfortunately,
Is it-
Yeah, it is. Actually, it is.
it's all ledge.
It is.
We dug holes all around.
Yeah.
And going up the hill, up that steep grade is all filled. I mean, we'd be that. it would be an ideal spot for the leach field.
You look at the wetland boundary.
So we did walk it last Friday, and you and I had spoken about the fact that it looks like there was historic fill, like that's the BBW to an intermittent stream. And there's like a little 1 foot high retaining wall, and it's, evidence that, there might have been hybrid soils. The soil is pretty soft in the grass, and
That intermittent stream we dealt with. The same streams. We're just farther upstream.
So you think
so it's historic fill. I just don't know the implications for, if right now you've got a failing leach field in the groundwater compared to what is we have this 50-foot no disturbance zone. And if it's really 30 feet or whatnot, does it matter? Are we getting things, are we improving conditions for the wetlands and the groundwater? Or are we making it worse?
it has, Board of Health looked at this and
They've
It
approved it.
did. Yeah, it didn't have a title. It didn't come in as an emergency, but it sounds like it needs to get upgraded. Like there's problems,
it
right?
meets Title V.
Yeah.
It's Title V, yeah. Yeah, and just for the record,
Yeah.
we did not ask for a variance to offset to groundwater. It's a 1 minute perk, so we could ask for a 1 foot reduction, and we did not ask for that because of the proximity to the wetlands.
So, and the soil logs don't show modeling or anything until like 70 inches down, but somehow there is, I don't know the depth of the leach field, but it
The
sounds like,
leach field is deep, that's the
Yeah.
problem, it's like 4 feet deep.
so it seems like anything you need to kind of get away from the water, the hydric soils, maybe.
The boundaries are, yeah, realistically.
Where is the existing septic?
To the, that would be southeast of the current system.
Southeast to be up here.
The SAS.
Farther away and it's.
We're further away, yeah, we're definitely further away.
No, the existing system is farther
Close, no, it's closer to the wetlands than this is gonna be.
south, so you said southeast.
Yeah, southeast would be right over in here, right?
Aerial view, you can see this like intermittent stream line. That's, right around that is the BBW. And I don't know exactly how it's delineated. It was just a more informal delineation based on the top of the little retaining.
Yeah, it's the
And
edge of the
lawn.
fill, yeah. I mean, that house was built right around when Wetland Protection Act came in, so they bought the house at 72, so the permitting was definitely before Wetlands Protection.
Paper napkin in
What's that?
the, paper napkin in
I couldn't even find it now, this one.
the 2 cows.
It was Leo Fugler, so it might have been 3 napkins, but I don't have one of them.
I have a video of what's called the pond or what in the back is. It's not, you can see it just so you guys can view it. I took a video before I came. Just so, this is the retaining wall that Julie's speaking of. And so this is dirt. I mean, it comes up as high almost to the retaining wall. So, I mean, you can see this is dirt, it's dry within it. So at the neighbor's property, you'll see farther in it, but everything in there is all green, it's muck, it's as high in there.
So below the retaining wall is,
Yeah, and
how high is the retaining wall?
the property line is,
It's not very high.
no, it's,
Maybe
you walk, when you're walking, you're on the grass and then the wall's right there. And then what you step down into, you can actually step into this and it's actually, you can walk in it now, but it's dirt. I don't know if you wanted to see it.
Pretty much, pretty much super DPW.
I'm good. Yeah.
How many bedrooms?
3.
So I'll make a motion for a negative determination. I don't know exactly which box it would be for that one.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I think there's a signature page.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All the plans back in there. Okay. Now that's Lake Drive.
Numbers on it. in case it gets-
Okay, next up, we have a request for determination of applicability for 26-18, 121 Gulf Road, Lauren Walker, converting a deck to enclosed mudroom entryway.
Everyone. Bring a large format presentation, but I'm happy to say a few words about the project, as in the application that we put forward. Taking the existing deck and turning it into a mudroom in the current footprint of the structure. And the resulting conditions would actually be farther away from the brook than they currently are. And all of the properties within the 50-foot buffer zone, the entire structure has been since 1947 in that location. So everything I do is within the buffer zone.
Can we pass any of these around?
I mean, sure, I sent everything I have is in the packet, so I didn't bring any more copies.
So you all received an electronic copy, but I'll just circulate. RBA, photos, plans. I did a site visit. I don't have any issues.
You're putting a new foundation in for the.
Just sonotubes. I'm replacing the old, there's sonotubes holding up the deck, but they're very, very old to be replaced. I guess I'd also say, as per the application, that we expect the excavation to put the new sonotubes in to be just a few days, and about 4 cubic yards of dirt will be pulled out and covered for the duration, and a silt fence will be installed along the edge of the brook for the duration of that work.
I think you show a stockpile location on your plan.
Yeah, the point farthest away from the brook.
What's there now?
A deck,
No, I mean, I only care about what's below grade.
right? Yeah, there are currently sonotubes there now, but
So
they
you need more, or they just can't build on the one you got?
can't build on the ones we have.
Build
There'll actually be
out?
less. There'll be less sonotubes when we're done
Less?
than there are now.
So on this plan, where is Scarborough Brook? Is that the green line?
It's like right there.
It's just on the other side of the driveway. If you see that picture, yeah, the green line. I think you're looking at this one, sir. Yeah, that's the green. The green line is the brook.
So
Yeah.
this is on the right, going up the hill, and it's before North Street.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just telling them,
Oh, yeah.
I know the area. Yeah, this is before North Street. It's on the right. one of the land properties is right across the street.
So there's minimal soil disturbance.
Correct.
I'm good. Anybody here from the audience for this? Wishes?
I move we issue an RDA, a negative determination on the project to proceed as designed.
Second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up is 321 Mill Valley Road, notice of intent for DEP 104-1135 Springfield Water and Sewer.
Bring that closer.
Yes, I actually have a copy for each of you, but I will bring it closer as well. Good. There's a few slides to look at while we go through this. I'm Jamie, presenting from Apex Companies. I'm a project engineer. And we also have here Ryan Paul, project manager from Apex Companies, and Frank Savannah from Springfield Water Sewer Commission. So this project is located at the Jabish Canal, just downstream, just south of an existing culvert that conveys the Jabish Brook, a wetland on the west side of the canal, to below the existing canal, and then into the other side of Jabish Brook. The existing culvert has been deteriorated and damaged, so it's currently blocked, causing the main issue of this project. Am I blocking? No. So causing flooding in the existing wetland. So the main objective of this project is to prevent flooding, mitigate flooding, and the issues associated with it. So the existing flooding is causing flooding and issues to the adjacent properties, as well as overtopping the maintenance road. And the maintenance road is an important roadway for the Springfield Water Sewer Commission to access the canal, which conveys water diverted from the upstream Jabish Brook to the Springfield Reservoir, a drinking water source. So the existing flooding overtopping the maintenance road is causing issues there, as well as water quality issues. So the objective of the project is really to mitigate that flooding. So part of this project, we conducted a hydraulic and hydrologic analysis to mitigate the flooding, and we looked at 3 alternatives, with the goal being minimizing impacts to the adjacent resource area. So you can see a brief overview of each alternative in the presentation materials there, and I can also just briefly go through each of them. But alternative 1 is really to replace the existing 18-inch CMP culvert that has collapsed. And this alternative was evaluated and modeled, but found to be infeasible due to the high costs associated with it, as well as the larger impacts associated with needing to replace the 90-foot long culvert that's there. This would have impacts to the resource areas, the wetlands on both sides, and also the canal, which is an important resource area for the Springfield Water Sewer Commission. Alternative 2 is the proposed alternative, which is 2 24-inch RCP pipes below the maintenance road into the canal. This alternative is preferred because it has the least impacts to the surrounding resource areas. It's also a lot easier to construct, as well as less costly for the commission. And then alternative 3 is really just a combination of both of these. While it also helps prevent the flooding, they all, like all 3 of them do, it's the most costly and would result in the most disturbance.
How was the 224 inch?
Yep.
How was the installation different than?
It would just be open cut just to the maintenance road, so that would all be restored and the maintenance road would be restored. So it's just less, it's shorter, it's 20 feet long of the open cut versus the 90-foot length. That would need either, that would be more expensive in a lot of ways. You need to either open cut across the canal and the whole span of the 90-foot or do horizontal directional drilling, which is expensive. So mainly just enough, it's shorter.
So if you put a cost, the cost in here, in your application?
Yep, yeah, the costs are included in the alternatives analysis that was submitted. I also have present day costs with me today of how they compare, and I can pass that around. But yes, the costs were included in our alternatives.
Well, I like number 3.
Historically, the culvert went across the canal.
Yeah.
Exactly, yep, it went.
And now your preferred is to dump the water into the canal and basically shut the water off going to the resource area on the other side.
Yep, yeah, this was designed to be a less costly but interim solution that would be able to be implemented soon and constructed. But yes, it would convey water into the canal, but we did model the impacts.
How long's the culvert been blocked?
I think a couple of years.
Yeah, it's partially blocked for sure.
Neighbors can tell you.
It's partially blocked for sure, and
So shutting off the water to the resource area?
Yeah.
we're not changing the existing conditions. We're just adding this component to the area. We're not removing the other pipe or blocking the other pipe any more than it is right now. But this is our interim solution. Okay, we can do this right now, or we can wait maybe, another, X amount of years when we feel like the project can move forward to fix the existing culvert.
Okay, whether you were in here a couple of years ago with asking for permission to pump the area down so you could inspect the pipe, jet the pipe, work on it. You found that it was, what did you find?
It's, I'll speak to it. Yeah, that's fine. So we pumped the area down. If you were here during that time, we tried to jet through the pipe and see what we could see. The jet couldn't make it completely all the way through the pipe. We can tell that it's still hydraulically connected, but when they get a storm, it backs up right away. So there's still water that's on both ends of the canal on each end of the culvert. However, it's slower moving because there is a blockage there.
How much flow is still going through that?
I mean, we don't have any type of measuring device in there. It's a very slow moving brook. It's a tributary to the Jabish Brook. And it's very, very flat. And there's always water in that brook from what we have seen. And I think from what Springfield Water Sewer Commission.
Commissioners, 2 years is like when we became aware of it. We're not sure how long in the past. I mean, this is a bit of a remote area. It's not like right there into one of our facilities. But we do know that somehow the water is finding its way because we've never seen the brook go dry. You can tell there's some infiltration, there's still some going on. The problem is that when we have multiple storms, big rainstorms, that's when we got into the problem
It
with.
floods. It's a problem.
Yeah.
We all want to fix the problem. We also don't want to give up on that culvert and the base flow through there. Did you try jetting up from the east side as well?
Yeah.
And did you send a camera in there?
We did.
What is the pipe?
I think it's a combination.
It's a combination of corrugated metal and concrete pipe, I believe.
And what is the age of it?
I do not know. I don't have any records.
The original.
Yeah, I know, and the
Yeah.
original is what, 1890s?
Yeah, it's,
When did that canal go away?
1800s. It's been repaired over the years, just by us observing. You can tell that there's multiple types of pipes there, so it has been repaired over the years. We don't know when those repairs have taken place. We don't have real good records on that.
So when you jet it in, you jet it in from the west side and then you jet it in from the east side, did you come to the same point?
No, it never made it.
I mean, but did it, how big is the plug? That's what I'm asking.
I would say that it was tough to tell how big the plug is. It's tough to see, with the water in the pipe already. And we tried to send a camera through, but it's really tough to see what the blockage is.
But when you jetted it in, did you stick something in there and it got to a certain? point
Correct, yeah.
From one side and then from the other? How close were those 2 points? What am I-
Not close at
Yeah,
all.
I don't remember.
Commissioner, they get to a short point from either side, and the company that did the jetting, where they said we can't go any further, it gets concerning because now the water jet might work against you, it might cause more collapse, and they might not even to pull back the nozzle. So we tried from one side, then they tried from the other, and it was a short distance. We couldn't get past that. And then when we sent the camera, on the brook side, it's even tough to see where the pipe is. It's like it's underwater, and it looks like it's an old granite kind of built culvert. So we couldn't.
Are you talking about on the east side?
On the east side, but when we did on the west side, I think we got as close like 8 feet, no more than 10 feet with the camera, and then we couldn't go any further. We just like it's a lot.
8 to 90-foot culvert?
Yeah.
Have you thought, I know you mentioned directional drilling. Have you talked about directional drilling through the pipe? Up the pipe?
We couldn't because there's a blockage.
That's what directional drilling does.
You need to be, for directional drilling to typically work, and we've done a few projects with it. You need to be in a soil media to get the directional drilling to work. And actually, even if you're in a bad soil media, like a real sandy material, basically what they need to do is need to pump a bentonite material in, right? And then it expands, keeps the hole open. They send a very small thing down. You can go through an old pipe that's called pipe bursting, which is a little bit different, but you have to have a good hose pipe for that.
Have to have a what?
A good hose pipe. You have to have a good, you have to have a good opening. It can't be blocked.
So you need to pull it from the other side.
Yeah.
And Commissioner, is any measure of that is going to require big impact on the wetland? You need a big pit to load up,
Yeah, we don't show it on this picture, but it's in our alternatives analysis. Our layout area basically goes into the water. We need a whole pit, and the pipe needs to be fused together and brought back. I forget how many feet, but it was basically going, call it another 40 feet back.
And what's the invert of the culvert? And
The existing?
versus the invert of the overflow?
Propose for them.
I know the invert of the existing culvert.
Yep.
And then the invert of the proposed overflows.
Yep. Yeah, so the invert of the proposed is right around 413.3. And then the existing.
It's 408.75. 408.75.
Versus what?
413.
So we're talking 5 feet of.
Right, because this measure is only to stop the overflow over the roadway, the maintenance roadway.
All the neighbors are getting flooded. I mean, that was a wooded swamp.
Right.
That was down 5 feet. That water level is 5 feet higher.
Right.
And all the neighbors are getting flooded by it. And so it never goes down to that 408.
Yep.
Is that true? It's always,
What was the existing condition when we were out there
does it
recently?
ever, I mean, we've been in a drought for 2
It's,
years.
pretty low. I mean, you could see the,
It is very low. I don't think we saw the pipe, but it's down low with the
It's-
drought.
yeah.
But any sustained rainstorm would change that.
Have you looked at what the impacts are, what this is causing for impacts to the abutting properties? And how much flooding it is causing on their property?
Have you had anybody? I don't think we've had anybody say anything to us.
We heard, last time you came in, we heard something.
Yeah, the water was over the roadway. Agreed.
Commissioner, we were getting calls from the abutting property on the west side when the wetland was high.
On the
Calls were
west.
coming, it's like, what's happening? That's the time when the water started overflowing as well. Over the rest of the service road and started eroding the canal slope.
So you're just doing it to protect your embankment. You're not doing it to protect the abutting properties and return the situation.
Where,
We are in a way, Commissioner, we're trying to relieve the wetland. So we are protecting the property.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, so, how much are you going, how much, so 413 is the invert of the
Yep.
overflow culverts. What's the invert of the top of your embankment?
we're about
What- not
417,
the
418
elevation.
at the top of the road.
yep, yeah, exactly. The road is just over, 418. 418.
418, so a 5 foot, when it was overtopping the road to what we're
You're
hoping to
reducing-
keep it down.
You're reducing the flooding in flooding situations.
Yeah.
By 5 feet. You're not getting it. You're still 5 feet above. Or it should be.
Yes, and that pipe was also, when we did our hydraulic analysis, the 18-inch pipe is undersized for today's storms a little bit. So you would expect that
Yeah.
to come up in a flood event. We have, in our alternatives analysis, I believe we took a look at the existing conditions and seen what that was, but I believe it does come up pretty high in a 10-year storm.
What would the size of the pipe be if we would go with that alternative?
We wanted to go over 36-inch pipe, which is double what it is now.
What's the elevation at the bottom of the canal?
She has that information.
It is, around, just over 410.
So the pipe, the current pipe is currently buried the whole way through, or is it showing a little bit on the,
The existing pipe
It is on by the canal.
Yep.
okay, okay.
And we're not sure about, we're not sure about the slope, so, we can speculate how lower it is below the bottom of the canal.
Sounds like if your invert is at 413 and the bottom's 410,
The invert's
so it can't
408.
be deep.
The
408.
upstream one is, 408.
Oh, I thought the downstream was 408.
No, 413.
And that's the overflow.
The overflow, yep, the rim will be at like 417.
No, what are the current
The-
elevations on the current pipe?
408.
408.
On the west side, what about the east side?
Downstream, do you have the downstream invert?
What I saw.
You might have to look it up on your plan. Do you have that shown? Do you have a copy of the plan set?
I do, it's not shown on this one.
Do you have a copy of the 11 by 17? I'll look it up for you.
I mean, if they gain 5 feet, they're that much ahead of the game. Short term. It's only, this is only another temporary project.
Yeah, what is the, if it's a temp, like, what is the lifespan of this practice? Like, what does it buy you?
Ryan,
This is a permanent structure, you know, this is.
Oh, this is permanent. I thought they said this was until you could
Like
get
a
funding to go back.
This
to
is
it
a
right.
stop, correct. It's a stopgap solution until we can figure out what to do with the culvert, the existing culvert to keep the stream going. But it's a hard structure. It's a concrete structure. It's going to be permanently there. That almost goes into our alternative 3 design where we're proposing to keep this and eventually do the culvert over at some point when we can figure out how to accomplish that, right? I mean, as we keep it.
I think we have to permit this Springfield Water Sewer approaches, you know, this it's a promising solution to mitigate all the problems we're facing. And then we'll see how it operates, we'll keep assessing. Commissioner, in all honesty, I mean, that other project is going to be a very costly project. It's going to require planning, budgeting, and the question would be like, at what time we were going to need to replace that 5 areas. And I cannot think of a date sitting here today, but it's going to be a work in progress. We're going to see how this mitigation is going to work, and we believe it's going to work very well. It's going to protect the canal, protect the service road, and mitigate the flooding until such time that we can get to the other pipe as needed.
Can you shut off the water in the canal?
Yes, they can.
Shut up.
I don't know. I didn't understand the question.
Yeah.
He's asking the head gate up at, on the other side of 181. Yeah, there's a gate up there. They can shut that off. They've dried that up.
I'm not sure if it's operational.
I've been on the opposite side of the Jabish Canal. That's as far as I've gone. I'm sorry, the Jabish Canal opposite Mill Valley. If that's what you're talking about, there's no gate there anymore.
Well, there used to be.
Yeah, it's
Because the fire department had to actually ask you to open it back up because we were still using the canal as a water source.
maybe we're talking about 2 different areas. Yeah.
We're talking the whole length of the canal from there to the Ludlow line.
No, okay, I was just talking about the.
So at one point, because when Ludlow Reservoir went inactive, they actually closed the gate at 181 and basically dried it up. And at that point, we didn't have any water source, so they asked to have it reopened and they agreed to do so. This would have been 10 or 15 years ago.
Do you have the alternatives analysis?
So Commissioner, what do you do with the water coming down from the tributaries up from the upstream?
Excuse me?
How do you handle the water that's coming down from the tributaries? From the upstream region, where does that water go then? You close the canal. It's going to be dry.
So it just continues down Jabish Brook to the Swift River.
Very dry.
It's going to be so low. Always.
So I mean, the water that gets siphoned off for the canal is you're just taking part of the flow from the Jabish Brook and sending it to Ludlow Reservoir. The rest of it just continues down the Jabish Brook and eventually dumps into the Swift River, which becomes Chicopee River and Three Rivers. So that's where the rest of the water goes.
Okay. So I'm not aware of that gate, to be honest with you. This is new information.
There is or was a gate right at the Jabish Brook where that you could control the water going down the canal.
But if we are able to close the canal, then we're going to starve the Springfield Reservoir of water, no?
Yeah, we weren't suggesting that.
Oh.
But at one point you did because Ludlow Reservoir had gone inactive. It wasn't a primary water source. So at that point, somebody 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they did in fact pretty much shut it off and pretty much all but dried up the canal. So because at other streets, at other places where it crosses roads, we were actually drafting from it for a water source. The fire department was. So we asked to have it continue, reopen it, get some water back in there so we can still have it, use it as a water source.
The reason I was asking was if you could shut off the water in the canal temporarily so that you could excavate down and put a whole new culvert in with an excavator, dig all the way across, put it in.
Yeah.
And do it the way it should be done. And I'm not saying, what did you say, an 18-inch pipe, and you would suggest a 36 to take care of the flow? I'm not sure I would want to increase it because
Well,
It
this,
is what the status quo. But
David, he's actually, this would be the temporary bypass pipe for the flood control would be the 36. They're not talking the permanent fix.
yeah, what would you do for a permanent?
As far for a permanent fix, a long-term permanent fix, is that what you're saying? That would be alternative one in our alternatives analysis, which is replacing the culvert with a 36-inch pipe.
And to replace it with a 36 inch.
That was our proposed. We wanted to take a look at that to see what the costs are, to see if it was feasible at this time. However, that's what Jamie was trying to allude to, is we wanted to get something in that could protect the water supply and bring down the water, at least in an interim measure. It would be a long-term solution. It would be that it's not going to be removed, but this is something we can do now.
So how would you, if you were to replace the 18-inch culvert with a 36, how would you do it?
Yeah, we could, I mean, we have a fact sheet on this. Yeah, so we,
That a perched outlet?
oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Does they have another 18 inches to play with?
So we basically proposed, as far as the alternatives when we laid this out, we could do a couple different things. We could replace by dig and replace, which would be long-term, shut off the water. You have to bypass the water. Probably, it's build some temporary type. Well, we would need temporary areas to work in. So we would have to take up some of that wetland area and then restore. We'd probably have to fill in a little bit of area because it's very, if you've been over there, it's very narrow and there isn't a lot of room to work, but with a lot of large equipment there rather than maybe a mini excavator, which we're probably most likely going to be able to get away with this project. There would be a large footprint here, but it could be dig and replace, or it could be,
So you shut the water off.
we propose for this method, we propose open trench. However, we did explore the option of trenchless construction too, as just maybe another method. But we propose in our alternative an open cut.
Because right now, I mean, you're proposing a cofferdam around your work area to protect you.
Yes.
So
But that will just be temporary.
yeah, but I mean, that's the same thing we're talking about if you were doing a temporary cofferdam around the outlet pipe culvert to replace it, reconstruct.
Yeah, I think there would be a little bit more impacts upstream and downstream, and it's a deeper cut, another 5 feet down. And obviously it's just more costly as well.
Yeah.
So that was part of the analysis and, part of our wetland analysis too. All those impacts. And then we decided, okay, what can we get done right now? And this was the alternative we came up with.
What kind of a guarantee, your alternative number 2, which is your overflow, that protects your property, it protects your embankment, your access road, and it doesn't do anything for the long term. What kind of a guarantee do we have that you're still going to proceed with a long-term plan of replacing the existing culvert? I mean, I can see you just stopping right there and not doing any more because your problems are taken care of. And the wetland's still flooded and
This would protect wetland flooding though, because the water wouldn't exceed the invert of this.
yeah, it would protect
But it would also just lower the water, the elevation.
But we're looking at the long term where we want to see the water flow restored to the opposite side of the canal. which is, option 2 is going to shut that off. And, that's fine for the short term, but, once you get that done, there's nothing to motivate you to finish the project.
I see your design. I understand exactly your methodology. I don't have any problem with that for an emergency situation. But I want to see that flow across through that culvert restored.
So what I'm hearing is that you probably wouldn't approve this project without some kind of guarantee. Otherwise,
Well,
we
some
would just
sort of
let it,
commitment.
we would just let it flood.
That's me.
If we're saying we couldn't give you an exact guarantee of replacing the other culvert at this time, then you're saying that you wouldn't approve this project?
Not necessarily saying that. but
Okay,
we want to
that's
make
what I
that
was kinda
absolutely a
hearing.
condition that you're going to follow through and get this finished.
So yes, we are saying that. If
I guess, okay, if that's what we're saying, that's what we're saying.
I just, we're just trying to protect the area as well, and I just want to make sure we're doing what we can right now. But what if we go back to the drawing board and we say, okay, we need another 6 years, and we got to scrap this project altogether because we need the money from this project to take care of the other one? What happens if something happens to the wetland and
No, we don't.
and their water supply? I'm not sure.
Not my ideal necessarily, but I mean, it's all debatable. It's the 18-inch versus the 36-inch. There was some way to get through that 18-inch pipe and reopen it to restore the condition that was there before. And I know I'll get arguments about stream channel crossings and, but
Well,
but to at least get the flow back to the brook on the east side and get the water level, the base water level in that wetland down to its original level. That's what I want to see. But,
Commissioners, if I may say, there's always, like when we do alternative analysis, we have the surveys, something that says, no action. If this thing is delayed, we haven't seen it occur that frequently since the last episode of the flooding. But if without this project, which we believe it will mitigate all pains that we're worried about now, without it, and the wetland is going to rise up with heavy rains, and it's still going to spill in the canal, kind of the same thing, but it's going to cause damages while it does that. As far as the commission is,
I understand.
and yeah, I'm not putting pressure here, I'm just like seeing the way we're seeing it. And for the other project, replacement of the pipe, I mean, I'll say it loud, as an engineer, when we first went and looked at it, that was my first intuition. We got to replace this pipe. But then as we look at the costs and the time it's going to take and the impacts, we were working with Apex to find another solution that's going to be faster and honestly less costly, because that pipe is going to cost in excess of $800,000, if not more. I think it's going to brush the $1 million project. And I don't want to sound like a cheapskate, but this kind of project is going to require some planning and authorization from our commission, our executive director. It has to go through a budgeting phase. And, with everything our commission is facing with all the new water plants, and we're running into added costs, and, nothing is working without having extra costs added to it. I cannot sit here and say, well, yeah, we guarantee we're going to do this other project in 5 years. This has to go through a big planning and budgeting and approval from our commission. The reason we're presenting this project is think it's doable from our end, cost-wise, time-wise. And I think in the future, if, correct me if I'm wrong, if we decide to replace that pipe, and we are able to replace that pipe, we will still keep this overflow, right? I mean, that
Yeah,
stays.
it's a long term.
It becomes alternative free.
Exactly.
So Commissioners, we're not questioning, the wisdom in moving towards replacing that pipe. I'm not sure how fast we can actually get to accomplish that, given the planning and the cost and the budgeting that's going to be involved in it. It's a dilemma for all of us.
What is the elevation differences of the water levels right now?
In what?
The backed up water, and what's the canal level? What's the
So
elevation
the
difference right
canal
now?
elevation is at like 410.
The canal's at 410?
The bottom of the canal is at 410.
And what's the water on the backed up side?
It varies depending on the storm.
Right now, it's very low. Were any of you out there just recently? That was probably.
I have not been out there in a year.
Okay, I think your conservation.
Yeah, but I
commission
mean,
did-
worst case, I mean,
And it
yes,
was-
I know, I'm seeing pictures here where it's almost up to the top of the
Right.
roadway.
So I'm just trying to say, give you a visual here. If you just bear with me 1 second. So if you've seen it out there at all, or if you've been out there at all, the water right now is probably right at the top of the pipe, somewhere around there. We didn't measure it the other day, but
So
we're visually.
409.
Yeah, we're around 40. If it's 408 to the invert, we're at so
Yeah,
409.
17 inches.
And the Jabish Canal really stays about the same elevation because it's
Right.
more controlled.
Yeah, this invert is actually, and this spoke, it's like 8.75.
Yeah, but
The
Yeah,
water levels,
that's-
Jamie. The water levels.
No, I know, but he was talking about the bottom of the pipe. It's actually,
yeah, but I'm asking about the top surface right now, top surface of the canal and the top surface of the backed up water. Where is it at?
That will be the crest to the surface road, right, at the highest, when the water.
Highest.
yeah, it's not that high now, but.
But during the
It
storm.
does get
when
up
we have the
and go.
over-
So what I'm getting at is a real quick and dirty solution is you could set up a siphon right now. And you could start relieving water today.
Yeah,
We would
emergency work
need-
was done in
and
2020.
then a lot.
I know you were pumping, but
Yeah,
Wouldn't
it's-
I'm sorry, wouldn't we need a notice of intent, which is basically what we're trying to do right now? Is that is, instead of doing a siphon or something very, very, very temporary. This
that
is-
is very temporary, but I mean, I'm looking at water here that's basically up to the edge of the roadway. I mean,
Right.
you could start dumping that water almost immediately right into the canal now, and you wouldn't even have to excavate.
Yeah, these were just showing during flooding conditions, though. It's not like that right now, so if you're.
That's why I'm asking, what's the elevation difference?
Gotcha. Yeah, it varies by several feet. If that's what you're asking, between flooding conditions and now, it's several feet different, but now that it's not flooding is when we can, come to you guys with a longer.
Right, well, longer term, yeah, but I mean, ultimately, we want that cross-canal connection restored, ultimately.
Commissioner, if I may ask, when you mentioned siphoning, and I remember we did look at that, you're talking about carrying the water from the wetland across both service roads.
No, because right now, your bypass right now is dumping the water directly into the canal, which you got enough elevation difference that you could do it that way.
I'd like to have it go all the way across.
I do too, but ultimately, I get that, that's gonna be as they say, a much bigger project.
But as a siphon,
Well, I don't think.
I don't know how we would do that.
Actually, you could,
I don't know how we would do that, honestly.
you could.
With the flows that are from there, I don't know if you could get the flow through that area, the amount of flow you would need with a siphon.
Not only that, even if.
Well, you, just passing even some water all the way across would be,
there's some flow going through that culvert now, which indicates to me that you're not draining it's not draining the canal. So your blockage is underneath the canal, it's not going straight down.
I guess we're not saying that a culvert, replacing the culvert isn't a solution. It's just, we're just trying to get to a solution that can be done like this year.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it is something that does alleviate the situation. You really want that, the swamp water going right into your reservoir?
Yeah, we've tested the water qualities and we put it's in the alternatives analysis if you want to look. But we've tested both the canal water quality and the wetland water quality, and there's really no discernible difference in terms of a typical water quality that you would have going to a reservoir.
Because you don't control that watershed. I mean, nobody has to.
Right.
Nobody has to meet Title V requirements for tributary to a water supply.
That's true. I mean, I guess there's where we're also getting the water from upstream of that area, and there's areas that are not controlled as you get to a certain
You own
point.
you own a lot of land.
I don't want anything. No.
Commission does. Going all the way back up to Knight's Pond.
Yeah, understandable.
For his family.
Commissioners, if I may, I also want to just highlight one of the thoughts when you mentioned the siphon. You know, with the siphon, you still need a pump to kind of motivate the water to go over. And with this design, it's still, you know, the water discharge is, the energy is dissipated. It's well controlled. With the siphon, it's going to block the access road, and it's also going to probably create some erosion in the canal bottom or whatever it hits.
It wouldn't have to, but that's, I mean, you know, with an hour's work with a shovel, you could get, you know, if you put a 4 or 5 inch pipe, you could be relatively simple. You could do it in a day by hand. But I mean, I was looking for a super expedient, short-term, very inexpensive, let's move some water.
But I don't think it would be reliable for a long time at least.
No, it wouldn't. Oh, what?
You know, one of the tenets of this project is we're not just a quick fix. It'd be a fix that's gonna stop all the concern and protect the canal. So we're not chasing after another problem. You know, this project is not kicking the can down the road. It is based on the design of the hydraulics. It looks promising that it's gonna heal all wounds that we're going through right now. And I said it out loudly, as an engineer, it is my preference that we replace the whole pipe, you know, as it is. As an engineer, I would say that. But again, we have more hurdles in doing so. And right now, if we don't do anything and we go through the other problem from before, we're gonna, you know, it's still gonna happen. Water's gonna get to the canal, but not without causing some problems.
I just like to guarantee that you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
About the pipe.
can you come back to us with a commitment that 5 years, 10 years, whatever, that, you know, you'll come back and finish the job?
And we'll still be here.
Yeah, at least he and I will still be here, so, you know, that's what we're really looking for. We're looking for a commitment that, you know, something that's,
You're not gonna, you're solving a problem, that's your problem, and that's.
you know, once you do this, the pressure is off to go back and finish the job is basically what we're worried about.
Commissioners, I may sound like an attorney, and I'm not an attorney, I promise. But my question is, what's your concern with this project as it is?
That's fine, but we want, like you said, we want the pipe replaced.
And I
We
understand
want
that.
that.
We want that flow to the other side of the canal restored.
Yeah.
So that's ultimately, we understand that you're not prepared to do that now. But as long as we know there's a commitment that it's going to get done, that's what we're looking for.
I guess talking about what Frank just alluded to as well is, I guess my question to the commissioners is, what of this project does not meet the wetland regulations?
Oh, we could, I mean, you've got,
In that way, we can discuss those couple of things.
The whole like arching riverfront area.
Yeah.
The fact that you're in, that starts with the conditions, not necessarily for like, the water supply and the flood control. Although you could argue that, but I'm not sure that's the intent of the riverfront area redevelopment. The idea is to improve existing conditions for the river and the riparian corridor, so the wildlife habitat and the stream base flow that's supporting all that riparian habitat that's on the east side of the stream. That would be like a piece that would stick with me. Imagining writing an order of conditions, like how do we find that actually improves?
Well, I would say it includes the flooding control and the land subject to flooding. And I would say that's an improvement over today's conditions.
Yeah.
but in terms of the downstream, that stream to the east is not getting the flow that it should be getting.
Yeah, but well, I guess what I'm trying to say is we're treating this as a separate project so we can get this piece of it done first. So we're trying to meet the wetland resource regulations for this project. And I could be wrong. I mean, Julie, you're definitely more of an expert than I am on it, but that's what we were thinking in terms of we are trying to improve the area rather than having a washout of the roadway.
I think you provided something, a follow-up.
We did.
Packet that
Yeah.
that was passed like it was today. Some of that information didn't get to the commissioner, so maybe you've got more narrative about how this is meeting.
The riverfront area, we tackled the riverfront area because we had to add that back
Maybe that
in.
should get presented. I don't know if you all have been exposed to that, right?
Yep, yeah, we didn't even really totally get.
Yeah, we were,
all
it's part of our
the-
presentation.
all of it is part of it, but yeah. The project results in minor impacts to forming vegetated wetland land underwater. It's within your local buffer zones as well as riverfront area to the Jabish Brook. But as we mentioned, this provides a improved condition over what's there right now. And what's there right now has flooding issues. So this would resolve those flooding issues and therefore would improve the riverfront area that's there right
So each one of there's like 8 performance standards.
Yep.
So we go through all those.
now. Yep. And then, yeah, the entire project area is within the riverfront area. And yeah, one of the standards is alternatives analysis, which was performed. And out of the alternatives analysis, this is the project that results in the least wetland impacts, which was a priority, along with the cost, kind of like equal priority is minimizing these resource area impacts, and also finding a feasible economic solution.
So then maybe that this is fine for everyone. This is coming in to be reviewed under like new development, or sorry, as in it's not a redevelopment project, it's considered.
Yeah,
going into new-
with it being just this project only being not replacing this culvert and just being a new structure,
But it does contain areas degraded prior to 96. So
Correct.
Doesn't it kick
Correct.
that to redevelopment?
It does. No, I would say, I mean, however you want to take the redevelopment guidelines, it definitely is partially redevelopment.
I mean,
It's a
Makes
roadway.
it easier.
It's
in
a,
way than
right.
Coming through this compliance as if you're coming into new undeveloped areas, but.
Exactly. So, yeah, so I mean, it's a roadway, it's a gravel roadway, maintenance road with a constructed embankments for the culvert. And that's all really we're touching is those two sides. We obviously just need to just get in there temporarily. And there are some impacts that just go into the wetland a little bit, but we're planning on restoring those.
I don't want to lose the impetus. Fix that. I mean, I understand.
And we understand your position for sure. I completely understand that you want to have that fixed. But I'm definitely not in a position to make
Can I ask you, are you familiar with the MVP Culvert grant project?
Yes, we go
That's
after those types of grants. Yeah, that this one could be actually a DER type culvert grant. No guarantees that we ever get these types of grants, but we've gone after these and we're very familiar with these types of things. So it's a possibility in the future that we can look at these with the commission to see, what they would like to do, if they would like to go after these. The MVP one, yeah, I guess the DER one might be a good fit because it is off a cold water fishery, I believe. So it might be something that fits their category, at least, of trying to open up these
They want
passages.
this aquatic connectivity.
Yes, they do.
So they want to, and there's a lot of money out there.
Yeah.
Theoretically. And there's a lot of culverts.
I mean, I would love to see like an expression of intent or something like that, right? To collaborate in the long term to go after these funding opportunities, right? Because I think it is a really potentially a good project. And I think it leaves the door open the next time that there's a funding round or something like that, we could reach out to you guys and say, hey, we'd love to work with you and do an application for this kind of project and stuff. I think that would help address some of my concerns and stuff, that there's going to be no carrot left to go back and really fix this thing for good. So we have a chance to bring in, $500,000 or something like that grant funding. So,
Yeah, DER, you could get somewhere. DER is not as much MVP. You got a good amount of money in that pot. So it depends.
what would be your preferred time of year to do the work?
Summer is always the best time to do it when the water is the
Would
lowest.
this be a 27 project then, or is this something you're looking to get done by end of calendar year?
Funding that we're talking next year or this year?
I think we're talking to finishing the design this year. And then I have to put it in the budget request we start in December, so January, that would be the budget season. And we'll create a budget for it. And again, commissioners, this is how budgeting goes, and we have so much challenges at the Springfield Water. So yeah, we can budget it, and then we'll have the budget, then we'll put it out to bid and be ready. But you talk about like putting a big project on the budget, so we have a 3-year plan, then you have like, say, 10-year, and we can put stuff in the front. But the problem with the commission is, not a problem, it's just a challenge and this happened before on projects where you have the budget, you're ready to go, then something happens, you get, we had a leak in one of our standpipes, surge tank, and it was a $2.5 million project that came out of nowhere. Other projects had to wait. Power plant, we have a power plant that we're trying to upgrade, and we are now in a project that kind of delayed about more than 10 years. It's just because things were happening, a new water plant. So sometimes stuff comes in here and pushes some projects out because everything is important, but some stuff is more priority than others. And I know, if I go back to my boss and the commission, we look at the plan, we say, okay, we'll put it, say, on the radar for 10 years. But in all honesty, in 10 years, we would just never know what we might run into. And I come in here, I could swear in the Bible saying, we had it, we're going to go. And if you don't believe me, I would just be even upset because I know it's hard to believe. But these are the things that we might run into. So the commitment, we can, the commission may make a commitment, it will be there. The question is like, when do we run into that? We have limited budgets, and my boss always tries to keep the rate as low as possible. We try not to reduce it, because that's what funds the projects. So this is, I understand your situation, and I understand your ideas and your concerns. And, but believe me, we are in a bit of a dilemma here where we want to do the right thing. But I'm not sure about how we go to the bigger projects or how soon we can go to the bigger project. As an engineer, I would love to do it, but that's me personally. I think my boss would be open to it, but he has to worry about all the numbers and all the priorities that we have. So I'm not sure enough, even if we make a commitment, if we make a promise, I mean, we are, this project, this thing is not gonna go out of our radar. The question is, how do we how do we make a promise that we can keep?
If you're, if, what you want to do, budget for that and so forth in the winter, do you think you can get this done next summer? I'm saying just provided everything goes okay.
For the project here? Yeah.
What you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, the cost of this project and the necessity, because again, here it becomes, this becomes a priority now, because if we don't do nothing, then the same problem is gonna happen. We're gonna lose the slope, we're gonna be back here trying to fix it and trying to pump it out. So we want, and believe me, the neighbors, when the wetland was overflowing into the canal, that's worse when the neighbors are saying, hey, the water's getting close to my property, to my backyard. So we gotta keep it low, we gotta mitigate it. I think a project like this, we can push it through. It is a priority. But if I go to my boss, say, look, I need $800 to $1 million for the other project.
I guess what I'm thinking of is like, I agree there's an immediate need, right? But I think approving that should come with something in writing, a statement of intent, an expression of intent, to work with the commission, on identifying and pursuing opportunities to do the larger replacement and restoration work that needs to happen. And I don't think that puts you in a binding financial commitment, but long-term, we're partners, in this water management stuff. And, if putting that on paper is a problem, then I guess it kind of tells me like there's no.
I'm not saying it's a problem, so I'm just asking, how we can't control the future and what.
No.
Yeah.
So you should be able to go back to the board, the commission, whatever your body is. You know what we're looking for. Somehow, there must be some way that they can come up with something to come back and make some sort of document or commitment or something that we feel familiar with, not familiar, but comfortable with, that says that, yes, you may not can do it in 3 years or 5 years, but this is a project you are going to follow through with. Assure us somehow that is the plan. Put an end date on it, 15 years, 10 years, whatever you think it's going to take, and make us feel comfortable that you are going to follow through.
I understand that, and I don't see anything wrong with this request. I think it's reasonable, but I have to take it back to my boss.
Understood. But if you're going to be budgeting this in January, you don't need this passed. You don't need us to close this tonight.
I guess, we need to finish the design. But Commissioner, we cannot, we budget for it and we want to put it out to bid. No, I see what you mean. You're not going to close it tonight, waiting for that type of arrangement. Then we can close it.
I mean, we're going to meet again in a month, August 17th. Is that give all of you enough time to take this back and think about it and figure out how to satisfy that?
Would it be reasonable to request the commission to send us, maybe Julie, an email, just kind of spelling out how you want it, how we, what's the Springfield Water Sewer Commission, what kind of commitment, or like, what's going to be required of us to send in as an official letter?
Yeah. It seems fair to do something that's long-term, and that will work with you. But we just want to make sure we can basically just hash this out at the next meeting instead of, us giving you something, you saying, no, that's not what we're looking for. But if we could get some bullet points or anything,
I think
comments.
that you might consider coming up with your own version that you can meet and proposing it to the commission, because that's their job is to interpret your notice of intent. This is my intention, this is our intention. Here's how we're gonna meet the needs that we have immediately and also protect the resource areas, the functions that are present, which includes wildlife habitat as well as flood control, includes protection of groundwater, as well as erosion protection, all these things, and then you say, here's our timeline, and maybe you can ask for a 5-year order of conditions.
I guess.
It's not, we're limiting this order of conditions.
Yeah.
We are looking for a long-term commitment, because once they put in this bypass, the pressure is off on them to go back and finish the job and make that connection to the other side of the canal.
So are you saying?
Because the water's already relieved, their infrastructure is protected already. We want that cross connection to the other side of the canal, and which is the motivation to get that done will be gone.
Makes sense to issue an emergency certification to get this done? Because how do you issue?
No, that doesn't make any difference. We want to know that they'll go back and finish the job later. If it needs 5 years, 10 years, what's the scope of their long-term planning? We want a commitment. If they say that we will get it done in 20 years, that's how much time. We may get it done sooner, but we need at least 20 years to finish this project. Let's get a commitment so that we can say, okay, your 20 years is come and gone. You haven't done anything. You've made no progress towards getting this done. Now we have the means to go back and force them to finish the job.
How do you do that?
Well, that's
What is it?
That's for the attorneys to figure out. But we want to protect that. We want that cross connection restored.
So in this scenario, there's an order of conditions that's recorded on the deed, and then there's a.
That's going to be for this work. I don't think we're arguing, we're really not arguing about this work. We're arguing about getting the job finished, which is that complete long-term cross connection to the other side, which is what we're fixing to begin with. Do you understand? We want to hold your feet to the fire in that we're not going to say that you have to do this in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. You tell us what you think you can manage.
Okay. Yeah,
your worst case scenario, how long is it going to take? And then, commit to it.
Okay, just want to make sure we're clear. I'll just say this back. So I think what you're looking for is a timed commitment in a letter. But I also heard from other commissioner that it was more of a working with you. So I just want to make sure we're clear on which.
Well, we are working
one
with
is
you.
it?
That's
Is it a time
how we're
commit?
working with you.
Okay, so it's
So
it's a time.
we're not saying you have to have this done, by 2030.
Yeah.
Where,
I'm just-
how much time do you actually need? How much? Yes, we understand that other things, other emergencies come up and you've got to prioritize. But at some point, you've got to say, no, we've got this, we've got to get it done. You can only push it to the back burner for so long before it has to come to the front. Now this is the top priority. We got to get it done.
Oh, I completely understand where you're coming from.
So
yeah.
we want to know what the time frame is for that.
Okay, so you would like
I mean,
it.
David, am I wrong?
I think you're right.
That's the part where we're working with you.
No, I'm just trying to get some clarity on what we need to present to the board. Is it a time commitment? Is that where you want to see this? We will get this done in X amount of years, or is it that we will work with the commission on ongoing? I'm hearing just a couple different. I just want to make sure we're
So
clear.
I think you're trying to clarify what working with you. Working with you is we're going to give you the time that you need to,
No, I'll be fair. Like I was really thinking the latter, right? Because
That's what I
because
thought.
I didn't really.
Yes,
think
that's
the former
what I thought you were saying,
was-
sir.
Was practical, but if it
What do you mean the
is-
former?
the idea of like hey, we're going to get it done in 20 years, and if it's not completed in 20 years, it triggers
maybe-
action or
maybe-
something like that, right?
Maybe right now they're thinking we're going to try to get this done in 10 years, but we can't promise 10 years because other projects happen. You know, so that's where, you know, what's their worst case scenario? What is that line that we will commit to that no matter what happens, we're going to get it done?
I'd like to see some research on potential grant monies.
Well, I mean,
As Julie brought up, and if that comes up, it'll be for
that could shorten the time frame to getting it done.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, I mean, I think if you could come back at our next meeting with some ideas about how to get the money to do it. What does your board of directors say? What grant funding is available? How much would that cost? I mean, how much would they provide? And
Obviously, if they get grant money, they're going to be able to do this a whole lot sooner, in which
Yeah.
case we're all happy.
yeah,
Commissioners, I like the idea of working together. I mean, honestly, the way I see it, we're all the same side of the fence. We care about the environment, and this is what we do in all our careers from a different angle. I was hoping that, working with you and not losing sight on the repair of the full culvert repair, the pipe, the old culvert repair. But, maybe if we build this and, we can also monitor its performance, you guys would come out, with us or like on your own, just check it out, see how it's working. And based on that, we can also say, well, either this is not working, like we need this done in like 5 years, or it's working fine. You guys have more time, maybe 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. Just something to that sort where we kind of monitor the whole area, monitor the performance of this not culvert. But then keep an eye on the big picture, which is the old culvert, and then maybe help the commission say, look, hey, you guys, this could last for another 10 years without any detrimental condition. And on my end, I'm gonna run it with our boss, our executive director, and, of course, our attorneys and the board of commissioners, because, I know my boss we're kind of on the same wavelength. We don't want to make a promise that we cannot keep. When we make a promise, it's going to be kept. And so much challenges are on the way. I appreciate you saying, okay, give us 20 years and maybe you can do it sooner. That's a very reasonable request. But I want to make sure that whatever promise we make, it's going to get done.
And I understand, that's why, how much time do you need to go back to the commission, the water and sewer commission? I assume that's a board that meets periodically.
They meet every month, Commissioner. I'm not sure about August. August is, could be the holiday month. I'll check. If not, I would say September. Would that be reasonable?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, that will give us more time, give our commissioners more time to review it. And, our attorney is very busy. He's got to review it, consider the letter to be sent. So maybe if we shoot for September, that would give us all enough time to hash this out.
Yeah, and I don't think our concern is with the functionality of the solution, right? I think it's long-term connectivity, right, of that cold water stream.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's our
I'm
first
not worried
alternative.
about this bypass. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just a matter of getting in there, doing the work, and it's going to work. I mean, I have no doubt of that.
Yeah, that was obviously our first alternative on the, we didn't, usually you see alternative one, that's the one you pick, but it's like, well, can we do something sooner, and so, that's all. Yeah.
if you
But-
look, you're looking at directional drilling and you say, okay, you don't have to have that pipe come out exactly where the existing pipe is. It could be over next to it. And if you could do that and do directional drilling underneath there,
Yeah.
and do it from east to west. So you come out on the other side and you have,
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's obviously another design. That would be the other design project that we're talking about.
And if you went in, I mean, I guess we'd like to see a 36-inch pipe versus the 18-inch. If that's what the calcs say that it should be, that would be great. But if we can get back an 18-inch, I'm happy to get the base flow, and then you have your emergency overflow. And then that 18-inch should drop the water level back to what it was before it got clogged.
Yeah, you're definitely correct. I mean, the 18-inch
A bigger
would.
pipe is less prone to plugging though.
But yeah. I mean, if you're getting large debris in there or something floating down, but if you ignore that, and when we do our hydraulic model, we don't model obstruction, so we ignore that as well. With the overflow, it would not overtop the road because the overflow does take care of the flooding.
But also,
It could be on the table, as far as going forward with that design at a later date.
during the storm.
I think the commission has made it pretty clear that if we go with alternative 2 and it doesn't work as well as you hope, say 2 years down the road, and you're having some problems with it, we were definitely going to hold your feet to the fire to do alternative.
Well, I guess if we were going to make I don't.
I mean, the design is.
I'm not worried about,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about 2.
But the
We ran
question
2
how
up to the
long
100-year storm, so.
Huh? 2 will work. I mean, 2,
If it works and it works forever, then it's not a problem. We might as well do it. But if it fails in 2 or 5 years,
then they're going to be back here and asking us to do it
Exactly.
again or fix it. But at a 36-inch culvert, it's going to be pretty easy to maintain.
Commissioner, to answer your question, it's a very sound design, and we know it's good.
Yeah.
But God forbids if it fails in 3 years, then we have no more options. We can't replicate it. We got to go back and we got to bite the bullet and find the money to do something.
Then this becomes the emergency project that's got to get done.
It would have to get done.
But we're not sabotaging that. I mean, that's just the way things are going to.
Understand. Yeah.
But Commissioners, if I may also highlight, I know next summer is a long way from now, but for me to be able to secure the budget for this project,
Yeah.
Apex need to have 100% design with a final cost estimate, because when I put it on the sheets on request, it has to be endorsed by them, and we would have a final number.
So you said the budget process is in January?
Usually January.
So, yeah, this hearing is not going to stretch till January, I assure you. You'll be able to have this ready to go to budget in January. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I personally am not.
But we know Apex did a lot of hydraulic modeling. This project was born out of a lot of effort, a lot of studies before we kind of adopted this approach. So I'm pretty sure, we trust Apex. They're very good engineers, and we know it's going to work.
Yeah.
But we live in an imperfect world, and we try to get as close as possible to perfection. But like Commissioner David said, if it fails, now we have no other solutions. And we hope the commission would help us with the permitting to get that work done, because it's going to be very impactful on the wetland and on the street.
What you're proposing, your alternative 2, I think will work to protect your interests.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything for our long-term. And our long-term interest is the fight. And so, I think you've got some time to look into alternative funding.
So when we come back in, whether it's August or September, probably September. Yeah, that's not a problem.
We can extend it to August and
we can extend it. We'll ask for a
You
continuance.
just let somebody in the office know, and we'll just continue it till September if that's what you need.
And just to be clear, I think we're good on the letter of commitment. Is that the only thing you're asking for at this time? Or what? I just want to be clear on when we come back.
When did the thing go into natural heritage?
It did come back today.
We just
Oh,
got
it's already come back.
Yeah, literally just got it back today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but
We
okay.
have
no adverse
Okay.
under wetlands, and also its condition under MESA, which means you have to do a turtle survey as you're doing the work.
Right.
Time of year limitation.
Yep. We've done a bunch of
Did you
those.
have to do that for the initial?
No, because we did it under an emergency condition.
You did it in the winter too.
And we ran it by MESA that as well. We did run it by MESA. We gave them a call. We didn't do the official channels,
So
but
you
we
did
did.
the time of year.
It was in the winter, right? We did that. I think it was fall. Yeah, yeah. I just want to be clear when we come back, we have all the information that you want. So if it's just, is it just going to be the letter? Is that the only thing that we're?
I'm a little bit wondering how you all see, the commission sees, do you review this under Riverfront area general performance standards versus redevelopment? Because right now, you all did respond to the DEP comments, the circuit rider Mark Stinson, in a letter dated today, which is circulated to everybody, and this will go into the file. And you updated the WPA form that talks about Riverfront area impacts and updated the plans presumably to show the new shape of the Riverfront area boundary. Right?
It's actually outside of the
Yeah.
the
Well, it's all in
plan,
there.
but it's all in there. Yeah.
So is this, are you all in acceptance of the Riverfront area performance standards used, which is the general straightforward, no one first?
So when you refer to the riverfront, you're talking the stream or the canal?
The street
Okay,
that goes underneath.
right.
Yeah, not
And I actually saw the perennial designation starts in the middle of the canal. So
According,
upstream is not, but downstream is.
it was on the upstream side too, and we corrected that. But
Okay.
and yeah, we're sorry that we missed that one. But
There'd be a stream through the western side.
Right, instead of being pond.
So we want to just make sure if we're doing the right pathway so that we don't later on go, oh, actually it was Riverfront area redevelopment, because it's that graded area. The first in the general performance standards has something to the effect of like protecting all other resource areas, which includes, you all did not mention BVW, but there is a little bit of BVW on the east side. We want to make sure it's being addressed and cared for, restored.
Well, there is a delineation.
not on the
So there's absolutely no work proposed on the east side of it.
right.
There's absolutely
The
no
west
work
side.
proposed.
Yes, and this is supposed to address the fact that there is an unmaintained alteration to the Riverfront area and BVW resource area.
So the existing pipe that is passing a little bit of water is not being touched, it's not being modified, it's going to continue to do whatever it's going to do. Well, yeah, but I mean, but they're not doing work to it, we're not doing work to it, so it's going to do what it's going to do.
I didn't see a delineation of the eastern wet. I see it on the western side. I didn't see, there's an edge of water.
Yep, this is the only wetland is on this side. Yep.
Yeah, you never did a BVW over on the eastern side.
Yeah, there's no BVW over here, just the Jabish Brook.
It's-
Just there.
But no,
Correct.
where the culvert comes out on the east side,
Oh, you mean this side?
no, not the existing culvert.
Oh,
Yeah,
over
on
here.
Up
Here,
there,
here.
you have the edge of water listed. You don't have a,
Yep.
we don't see anything about a delineation on that side.
Walking it, it looked like there was a fringe, at least on the north.
Okay.
How much land do they own?
I don't know.
Either one.
How, do you have property lines?
On the plan, yes.
Yeah,
Where?
this dash line right here is the property.
You all,
Right here? Come and bring it closer.
sure.
Got it.
Yeah, this is the property line.
Where is the culvert come out?
Sorry.
So off the property.
Yep, off the property, and there might be some wetlands on this north side, but it is.
So the culvert daylights off properties.
So is that a delineation of
This
the,
is the delineation of the Jabish Brook bank. Yep,
of the bank?
yep.
But that's not Jabish Brook.
Well,
This is.
Right. It's a branch.
It's a tributary.
Yes.
and it's perennial, so it's a,
Yep.
So it's an unnamed tributary.
so it is, it is riverfront from that.
Yes.
Yep, yeah, the whole
That's
project limits are within.
confusing me, 'cause it's not Jabish Brook.
part of the system.
It's just a tributary to it.
Yeah.
Jabish Brook is
Should call it the main stream.
is a quarter mile downstream or more.
For right or wrong, we always refer to it as the brook. So,
Right. But it's not the Jabish.
no,
No.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else for tonight?
see, there's a question.
Sure.
My name is Hannah Eisenstein. I live at 277 Mill Valley Road.
Could you?
Yeah, get to a mic.
All right.
Please.
We could skip. My name is Hannah Eisenstein. I live at 277 Mill Valley Road. I've lived there for 8 years, and I live right in front of Jabish Brook, actual Jabish Brook. I walk the canal trails nearly every day for 8 years, so I know it very, very well. I'm not an engineer, so I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but my concern is you didn't really touch on the National Heritage, the Endangered Species Program. I'm not sure if you've been in touch with them.
So, yeah, we were
I've-
just discussing that. They've already responded.
Okay, but I would like to know what that is because I've seen tons of wildlife there, including spotted turtle, which is no longer endangered, but I've seen wood turtles, which are on the list. And I want to know because I've seen you last year, you had the portable drafting system, and I don't know if you had any sort of like mesh to cover it because you're just blasting the water from the wetland.
You, the pumping when we pumped.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that was approved. It was pumped to a stilted basin. It wasn't that tall.
It was throwing it.
Yeah, eventually, but it was kind of, people look at an equalization basis, that the water drops into the basin and then it overflows. So that was an intermittent stage between the pumping and throwing it into the canal.
So I should have started out with this. I'm not opposed to this project. I feel bad for the people that are being affected on the other side. I was really upset when you drained it. You like drained the entire thing. I'm concerned for the ecosystem that exists there. I brought it up and was told, oh, it's fine. You know, the wetlands were never that high, but okay, that's all well and good. But species adapt to new environments. And I want to know what protections are in place. When you do this culvert, what's the water level going to be? Because when you drained it last summer, it was mud. I could not see any water.
Just for your information, when we drained it, we had to, because we needed to take survey points. And that's what also wanted to reach the existing pipe. So we can take a look and measure the invert. And that's when we tried to send the camera to see what's in there. So that was in prep to give us a survey base to know what are we dealing with.
Is there, okay, again, I'm not an engineer, but say this is the canal and there's like this little spot and that's where the culvert is and there's this thing here. Is it possible, I don't know if I'm crazy, but can you like make a temporary dam so you're only draining this part and not the entire wetlands?
So, yeah, so if I understand your question correctly, you're worried about the water levels getting too low because habitats developed over time.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are species in there that have adapted to this area. So I can say, I'll take this in two different steps here. One is we did, and you asked if we touch base with Natural Heritage, and we did. So we have to file with them. And they actually just sent us a letter today. And the turtles came back. What turtle species is it?
The wood turtle.
Turtles, yeah. And
I have an email that I don't know if you guys know.
yeah, they came back and, you know, that's, we forwarded that to the commission. I think the commission had it from Natural Heritage as of today. Just came back because they have a certain time to respond to
I
it.
had not forward that to the commission.
Yeah, we just got it. Yeah.
And it's attached to each of your
So,
budgets.
so they basically put a special condition in their statement saying we need to protect the turtles during our construction project.
Okay.
What we typically do for that is put a fence up around the area.
Yeah.
And we have a scientist come out and do a sweep of the area and make sure there's no turtles in the construction area. And then every day, the workers, before they start anything up or move anything, they have to look over the entire area. If they find a turtle, they have to call the scientists. They put it in a bucket and they pull it out of the area. That's during construction. After construction, they open the area back up, and it's basically they didn't say there was anything wrong with doing the project as a long-term solution, just as a short-term. Now, as far as the water levels go, this will take down the water levels, but not all the way. This specific project that we're doing will take down the water levels approximately 5 feet, 4 to 5 feet from the top of the road. From the top of the road, not 4 to 5 feet from where it is today, but 4 to 5 feet from the top of the road. That means that the wetland would still have at the edge of the road about during the wet season. It could be at the culvert there. There's a culvert there and a stream there, which if that was restored, that wetland would go back and dry. It would go back to its existing conditions. There would be no water in there. That's the other part of would be some kind of next phase of the project. So that's the lowest pipe that we're not touching. If that was replaced, then that would go back to looking more like a stream and not a wetland on a daily basis.
Okay, but how many feet did you drain last summer? Because it was gone.
Yeah, we did it under emergency condition with the commission, the commission here, and we had to contact endangered species. I believe we just contacted them because we were losing the entire canal. It was washing out the entire roadway, which would have put all that silt into it was just like something. What can we get done? Like tomorrow, we need pumps out here. We're just gonna try and open this thing up as best we can, and then we took out the pumps after a certain amount of time once we got approval.
The biggest concern, right, when they were doing the work, last time was trying to do a slower drawdown, right, to give time for the mobile wildlife to at least be able to move out of the area and stuff. Doesn't mean everything gets saved, right? But we're dealing with a situation where, like I said, they were having serious infrastructure issues. There was flooding upstream and stuff. So,
But they said it wasn't like in anyone's house. It was just going in on their property, or was there actual property damage inside their
I don't know
houses?
what if you guys are familiar with the extent of the flooding problems to budding landowners, if it was causing damage to building houses or.
Well, like beaver dams, these things are all long-term temporary.
We had people that were very concerned about it.
I mean, the historical water levels go down to the culvert that's there that's plugged. I mean, once that culvert is ultimately fixed, that's where the water level is going to be.
Yeah, and that's 8 feet low.
Yep.
What it has been.
Right.
So it won't be as low as
As it was
last
at the
summer.
drawdown.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But it
All
won't
right.
be as high. If it's working right, it will not be as high
As
it
the
was
road.
like in those. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because
And
I've
it
seen
wouldn't
it
even be
flood
close.
over.
Like it shouldn't even be close. It should be like I don't know, off the top of the road, like how far down it would be on an average.
It's 5 feet. It would be 5 feet from the top of the road. And then there's still to the culvert that's even below that we're talking about that's blocked. That's another 5 feet down. So that means there's still going
And
to
that's the historic level.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's ultimately the goal, is get it back to that.
So the overall surface area of wetland is going to be reduced on the other side of this project, but part of it is because like in an unimpeded system, right, it would be much more of a riparian stream habitat than more of an open marsh swamp system.
It's too bad.
That's open.
I
mean,
do.
If you look at the vegetation over there, it's all dead trees because it was a wooded swamp, which means that the water table was down much lower. Because the trees can tolerate, in a wooded swamp, they can tolerate 60 to 90 days of flooding. And beyond that, it kills them.
Right, but when some things die, other things flourish, and that's my concern. You know, like I said, I walk there every day, not recently because I just had a hip surgery, but I've fallen in love with that place, and I see all sorts of wildlife in that marsh. And I do want to point out that you said you were planning to do the work in the summer, and that's when wood turtles are most active. And the picture of the wood turtle that I sent to the state, to National Heritage, it's not in color, but it was covered in duckweed. And the only place that has duckweed is in the marsh. And it was right where you're planning to do the work.
Okay.
And again, I'm not against this. I know it needs to be done. I've seen it flood. But I just want to make sure that you are working with a biologist, a herpetologist, and that there's going to be some sort of accountability.
My understanding is you guys are going to have to develop a wood turtle management plan, right? That goes back to natural heritage.
Correct. For construction purposes, yes.
So there will be a staff heritage biologist that reviews the plan and stuff. And these are, they come up pretty often in some of these wetland system things and stuff. So, I mean, it's really cool that they're actually those kind of turtles using those areas and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Highlights how important.
We
this
need
is.
I have so many turtles that come to my yard and lay eggs, and it's an honor.
So we need to rein this in. We still got more on our agenda.
Okay, can I just say one more thing?
Real quick,
Please.
please.
All right, I just want to make sure, final thing, that there is oversight, because one thing also pissed me off in the winter, you knocked down a beaver dam right underneath the bridge, and that lowered, I know you need water to go to the Ludlow Reservoir or whatever, but it went so low that it exposed beaver lodges. And the only thing, like in the middle of the winter, the only thing that protects them is that water from predators and hypothermia. So I just would like to make sure that it's good. And also there's still booms in the canal from last summer.
It depends which part of the canal you refer to, because I assure like our people, we don't knock down beaver dams without permission if we have to. Like we haven't, I don't believe our operations side, I'm in engineering, but our operations, I know they don't do that. However, if you think the canal, and I don't have the property lines, but there's different culverts that we don't own as well. I know we coordinate with the town of Belchertown or Level.
Yeah. Well, it's right under the old bridge, and there is heavy machinery equipment, and it was dead winter, and I was seeing beavers there all the time. And when it was lowered, their lodges were exposed, and I didn't see them.
I will check with our.
Okay. All right.
We appreciate your insight, definitely. I mean, we all love animals and we all want to protect them for sure.
Right.
And we want to do the right thing.
Yeah. And again, I'm not against this. I just felt like I needed to speak out on it. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we all set?
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Everybody's all set? What to move on to the next step? Everybody's got everything they need?
I think so. We're gonna come, Frank is going to go back and talk with his board, and we'll see what we can provide. I don't want to speak for Frank because he is
No,
the.
you're correct. So we'll keep it on the agenda for August, but if we are not there.
Just let them know and we'll just automatically continue it.
That's easy enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I move we continue the applicant's provision for the August 17th.
Yes. Second. Any discussion?
Before we leave, I want to thank the commission for your patience, for working with us and for the insight. We'll be back. We appreciate it.
Very good. We look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
Good night. All in favor, continuing to August 17th?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We have 8 bills. Get those started around now. And while we're doing that, does anybody have gotten a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Did you want to, is there anything else you were holding people up for? Do you want to wrap them first? Or what?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, I started the minutes. How are we on minutes?
I'm fine. I guess I was just curious why those 2 dates were.
The
Why those two
February, so I'm gonna try to keep current as well as working on old ones.
Okay.
So the February ones are random because I had started them back in March and finally got to finish them.
Fair,
Yeah.
totally fair.
And the
I'm gonna
most
try to
recent
watch
one
all
is just the
days.
most recent one.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm good with them.
They'll be sort of random. sorry.
But like it was you and Steve that had the most important comments on those minutes. So it's really too
I
bad.
thought they were good. I didn't see any reason to change it.
639. I make a motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Second,
Both sets?
Yes, sir.
So we have a motion and a second to approve both the wait a minute, February 9th and the June 22nd minutes. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved for June 22nd, February 9th. And the bills are going down. Keith, what are you hanging here for? What are you waiting?
New business. Ask you guys to look over our constraints on Seargent Street. See, so
Oh, okay. What's everybody else here for?
Partial COC for Summerhill.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's knock out the partial. I don't even see it. Oh, there it is.
I move we issue a partial
Yes.
for this one.
Yep, same as all the others.
Just one unit in the middle of this thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously for the partial of 111-45B.
I will mail it. Let's move on to the top. Are you-
Get to you in a minute. Yeah. What are you here for? Oh, okay.
We didn't scare you off after.
Okay. What's that? Oh, okay. So these are two,
Oh, hi.
yes,
Seen it us at our worst.
yeah, well. Here, why don't you come up and join us at the table? And then Keith, why don't you come up and do your, and then, yeah, and then we'll move on. We'll may as well be part of this process anyway, since, well, you'll get the,
yeah. Actually, you guys probably see better if you sit down on the end. Okay. So to give you an understanding of where we're talking about, this is 9. Okay.
okay.
Below this plan on this opposite side road is McDonald's, right? This is the intersection of Route 9 and 202. Ware is in this direction. Centertown, Belchertown is in this direction. This is the North Brookfield Savings Bank. On the parcel today is a small building, some gravel out front, and then we have an existing tree line on this side of the road. That's road. So I'm coming to the commission this evening because there are multiple resource areas on the property, right? We're gonna start back here. This is our edge of river, okay? So there's the 100-foot interior, inner riparian zone in this location, and we have a 200-foot outer riparian zone in this location. And then we move on to the wetland limit. So the wetland limit starts, record history off-site. This was the previous flagging for the North Brookfield savings. And then we continued on across our property. And actually it comes up because the roadway has a certain amount of water that's coming off the roadway. So it climbs up to this location here. So that's the wetland limit. We have the 25-foot, we have the 50-foot, and then we have the 100-foot wetland buffer line that goes in that location there. And it's not part of the Conservation Commission, but the planning board of the zoning has a aquifer protection, overlay district line comes through here, just to add more spice to the project. So the existing owner is looking to construct the Dunkin at this location.
So we're gonna have 3 in town?
No.
Get rid of this one over here.
Get rid of the other Federal Street one.
Yeah. So we've gone through a few different iterations, and we had
That's for the partial.
the emissions constraints of the wetlands. We have a 20-foot setback and a 50-foot setback. And then this aquifer protection district limits the amount of this area that I'm allowed to put inside this section of the project. So our present proposal that we would bring to the commission would be this. The intention is a driveway. We have this smallest building that Dunkin' Donuts will allow you to construct it 50 feet by depth. But so the idea is you come around the building, you make your order somewhere back here, and then you pick up out front. Now, the real reason why we're here is because in order to get this project permitted, not only are we dealing with the riverfront and everything, but the Chicago law speaks of, regulations speak of, very limited work to be done within 50, the 25 to the 50, and then no work to the 0 to 25. So I'm looking for an understanding of how you would consider applying the town's regulations to this project, right? I've had prior dealings where it's been, we're just not allowed, right? And so I guess the question to the board would be, is there an allowance for us to do a structural wall, because the road is higher than the wetlands? We would do a structural wall. We would have to, do the pavement. Obviously, all of our stormwater would be collected and managed and allowed to discharge. We could potentially use this area behind the wall for our stormwater to the extent it's available to us. But, this, when we started seeing this, previously we felt that the wetlands were going to be out here on a conceptual basis from whatever some previous review. But when we had it fully flagged, here it is. So now, I mean, you guys can discuss any part of this you want, but I felt that we had to come and get a preliminary thought process on what would you expect to see from our.
So where's your 25 again, please?
This one here.
That's a 25,
25 off the way.
and the next one out is the 50. So you definitely are proposing work inside the 50. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And is there an alternatives analysis that you've already
Well, I mean, we
So
could have shown up with,
this is a historic lot, right? So this was created prior to '07. I would say that if I know that lot's existed my entire life.
the town records say that this was built 18 something.
Right, but the lot lines.
There was a dam there.
Oh, I don't know what the lot lines
You're gonna have to document it, but you're gonna have to document the creation of that lot as it exists now, but I'm 99% sure that I have not seen that lot in A&R. I don't remember it. So I'm gonna say that those are the historic lot lines. It was, I can say, if you go back far enough, you're gonna find that there was a little luncheonette thing there. Remember the greasy spoon there?
are. Oh, I'm sorry. I ate.
No, I know you, you ate there?
I recall now.
You do,
But I
that's the same lot, right?
That was over at,
I think it might have been over here.
Oh, is that on the,
So I was looking at the Google, the Google Earth has
yeah,
previous photos, and they show a blurry outline over here next to this building back in the 90s. So this wasn't the greasy spoon.
the greasy spoon was where the bank is.
it's where the bank is, okay,
What was the
so,
name of
Good.
well, I was trying to, but even so, if that is the historic lot that I think it is, there is certainly that is taken into consideration.
Can you get it?
So I can describe it further when I come in, and I can bring in some alternatives. I didn't get the chance to tell you that the planning board, the zoning regulations state that this parking lot has to be 10 feet off the front property line. So we fully intend to come into the planning board and say, look, there's pavement over here, this is a massive parking lot, or I'm sorry, massive intersection. We would like a waiver to your regulation so that we're allowed to move this further from the resource areas. So, I mean, we're already dedicated to trying to make this as small as possible. I do understand we'll come in with a different, with a few different layouts to show the alternatives. But, it's awfully hard to put physical buildings in the lot for vehicles to go around. Yeah.
Just, go ahead.
But if you put the wall at 50, what happens? You lose one parking space over there. And
More than that.
If I put the wall here at the 50, I lose these parking spaces, I lose access behind the building to drive around the building. I can't, well, I could drive right against the building, but now if I drive right against the building, now the handicap is, okay, over on the other side. We can show the alternative and we can discuss
Are you going to cross-connect with the bank?
There was no thought about cross-connecting to the bank, but we can approach them and talk to them about that.
So, I mean, that's obviously got to factor into it, just, have a discussion anyway.
Sure,
Even if they tell you to go to hell, and just tell us that.
If we were, no.
Well, I mean, but still, we know you've explored it.
If they don't allow us to connect through, then, there would be a retaining wall here because their land slopes down.
Right.
So.
And I'm just asking, not that it affects this, but you've talked, do you need to talk to Mass Highway?
That is, so you got the commission and Mass Highway are the critical path.
Yeah.
We didn't want to bother Mass Highway if you looked at this and said, I don't know why you would even bother coming. You know what I mean? So that's Mass Highway is the next discussion. We do, for your thought process, we do feel that Mass Highway would either be, okay with it or happier with it because we can say we're taking the issue of vehicles, starting to pile out into 9 over here. We would literally take it over here. But in the present location, they have ability for maybe 4 or 5 vehicles.
I can just, not to throw a wrench into this, but I can see them saying they don't want left turns in that parking lot from Route 9. I can see them saying that. Yeah. Heading towards where, I can say, you're not going to get to turn left. I can see them saying that. And I'm not trying to throw a wrench in this, I'm just.
Well, when I come back, I'll let you know. But I mean, my argument is there's a low amount of traffic in this direction. We have a very long, queue because as I understand, it's not really the order board. It's the actual where they're passing the food out into the vehicle. That's the biggest delay. That's the big blockage. So we would have 15 cars stacked up there before they would have to set it around the park around wait. So anyways, I appreciate your input about.
So just let me, Ed, so you're saying since the lot was created before our bylaw?
Well, since the current version of the regulations, if this lot existed in its current configuration, yes, this is a new use, this is redevelopment, or however you wish to look at it, but they didn't create a lot with hardships built in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're taking an existing lot that pre-existed 2007. I mean, but there's other considerations too. I mean, as opposed to Lake Drive, where they had just been in front of us and we had already given them the move. I don't remember any prior filings on this particular lot. Huh?
Just before us. When he says that, he means they came 10, 15 years ago. They had just been here.
Well, 2019. We had already, huh?
Talking about the dock, though, at that point.
Was that the dock?
I thought the building was 208.
No, I thought the dock was like 23 or 20. Oh, it was 16? Oh, it was 10 years ago? Okay.
We don't.
Okay.
See how it works?
Well, I'm sorry, Keith. I have CRS.
No, it's okay. You plan on being here until you're not allowed to get out of bed. I understand.
I'm already there.
When I make a commitment to something, I don't walk away from it.
That's good. All right, well, it's a late night. I'm not here to.
No. And I personally very much appreciate this, getting our feedback, getting our input. Yeah, we're going to beat you up on it. I guarantee it. But I personally feel differently about this because this lot that I know of doesn't have any history with us, any prior filings. It's going to be extremely challenging because you do have an ORW right behind it. You've got wetland lines, you got riparian lines, you got, buffer, you got the 100-foot, all the offsets.
But I mean, like you said, it's just documenting the alternatives analysis. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right?
I mean, the other alternative is something that didn't require so much use.
Drive-Thru.
Space.
Yeah,
but it's already a small building. Like, I mean, it's like there's not much commercial, aside from abandoning all commercial venture there. They're going for the smallest possible building they can, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't happened.
What, do they have a minimum requirement for parking spaces?
So the Dunkin' Donuts is not worried about parking. They don't have an issue with parking. The town says,
They need enough to stack cars for the drive-through.
Well,
they anticipate their biggest business is the drive-through.
Yeah, that's what Dunkin' Donuts is concerned about, is stacking the vehicles, because they have an existing issue, they have the experience. The town of Belchertown zoning bylaw says if you have so many employees, you have to have parking, you have so many seats in the eating area. And so this meets the town zoning bylaw.
Can the accessible parking spot be shifted south, like to the other side of
Well,
the?
that's what he was saying. They want to,
So
the 10 feet that he was talking about.
We can come in with an alternative of moving the accessible space. And there's obviously an issue with forcing someone who's has a disability to cross traffic in any place. So that's why it's here.
I'm sorry, is the accessible space where the handicap symbol is? Or is it,
This is one accessible space.
if there was a second one there?
Or no, there's only one required. So this could be the accessible space. And I don't feel that taking away this 9 feet is going to, really solve, well, it's not going to get us 25 feet. I can get a few feet here or there by taking away that 9 feet, but it doesn't get us away from the 25 feet. That was my really big concern.
To be determined.
So I feel that the commission is willing to look at alternatives and, is not flat no, working within the 25 to 50 or placing pavement within the 25 to 50.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So you have an infiltration area as a basin or closed
So
above that?
if we,
There.
this is just an outfall. If we were able to use this as an open basin, then we would utilize that. If we have to put everything under pavement, we'll work on going under pavement. Being outside the 50 back here, I had the thought that, we could actually utilize that space. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm thinking too.
this is true. The issue is that I can't put in pavement back here. This line,
How does the permeable pavement fit into that?
I can speak with.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I really don't know.
Did you say use permeable pavement?
I'm asking a question. How does permeable pavement fit into that?
Well,
I mean, you are in let's see, you're inside, no, you're between the 100 and the 200 there.
so this is the 200.
Right,
Rivers
you're
area.
inside the 200.
But it's the aquifer protection district.
It's the aqua, but if he's already got a basin there for water treatment stuff, I mean, cover it over, put permeable pavement, does it make any difference? I don't know. I don't know. That's,
They may have. wrote that regulation before.
I don't know. I just have no idea. That's why I'm asking. I mean, it just seems like an awful lot of usable real estate back there that if you could get double use out of it.
It's allowable in the riverfront area. I have to refresh.
Yeah, I'll have to do our homework on that one.
So I'm only cautious about this aquifer protection district because they say this is how it is. And they say there is no waivers, no variances. And put that wrote there.
So where does it go? It went through the Texaco station across the street.
Which is on the other side. Yeah, over where his pen
Oh,
is.
this is
Yeah, it's the Texaco
Alex.
station.
Or Chadbourne's if you go back far enough.
Don't you remember the Texaco station?
I was good remember it.
So it was like that.
There's a very nice painting of it over in the fire museum.
Got a fire museum?
Oh,
Oh, that thing, yeah.
supposed to eat that. All right. I'm gonna cut this off.
So anyway, guys, real quick, no, just. Does anybody have a major showstopper of his doing work inside the 50?
I don't like it, but I feel like you're running through the list of options. That's the best we can ask for.
So I guess what I'm hearing is that do your homework and really exhaust every possible scenario of why nothing else works.
You guys have a cute little club, the Massachusetts Society of Municipal Conservation Professionals.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's cute.
So everybody has signed that already, but we haven't even voted on it.
Sorry, it was my fault.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's
So I make a motion, we
it's a
approve
segue.
the,
pay the bills.
pay the bill. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? Bills are paid. I wasn't especially worried about it, but I did notice that I haven't signed them. The problem if I haven't signed them.
When does my overtime rate kick in? It started already?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? All right,
You're
good.
good.
I'll tell you what, I will double the overtime rate for you for tonight. How's that?
I'm gonna-
All right.
No, I'll make it double time. I'll double the current rate for being here past 9. I don't care. Anyway, so, deed acceptance, State Street. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
I was gonna say, I have to be at work at 5:45.
Yeah, no, I just remembered. I'm sorry. So,
You met up.
yeah, no, damn it,
I'm Morgan.
she's Morgan. Yeah, yes, and Barbara Hastings.
Thanks for
Yes.
expressing. Yeah.
So both of these individuals have expressed an interest and we invited them both here to learn a little, so we can learn a little bit about you and you can learn about a little bit of what we do here and how we work. It's, well, I want to say that tonight is not typical, but actually for the last 3 months, it hasn't been typical of what we
I
do.
would say I've always gotten out by now. Like,
Most nights, yes.
Yeah.
And even tonight, I thought it was going to be a simple night, but I didn't count on, well,
Yeah.
I didn't count on that. I didn't expect it. So, do you have any questions for us, either one of you?
Not particularly. I have been on the other side of the conservation. I work for the Department of Agriculture at the Natural Resources Conservation Service, which some of you may be familiar with. So I used to work, I actually covered all of Western Massachusetts. So I've worked on dam removal projects and wetland restoration projects, putting in manure storage. So I have been to conservation commissions, meetings in different towns, presenting our agency's work. I no longer do that kind of thing, but I am a soil scientist. I primarily do wetland determinations for the Department of Agriculture specifically. It is not the same thing that the state does at all. Yeah, I do a lot of other conservation related work as well, and have it's just a general interest of mine, which is why I went into the career I went into. I've lived in town for a few years now and have thought about starting to get more involved in the town's conscom, and saw that there was an associate member available. I have a small child, so I cannot make most meetings in person, which is why Julie suggested that the associate member might be a better option for me. So I am.
So that would be wonderful. I mean, yes, I do remember that you said typically making our meetings would be challenging at best.
Yeah.
But, there's plenty of other stuff, site visits and stuff, which can be done during the day.
Mm-hmm.
They go out during the day. You could go out with them and then you can kind of learn what we do. And if you have insights and input, you can email the rest of us.
Mhm.
Although we won't email you back. No, we can't because it's a violation of the open meeting law.
Mhm.
But, but certainly things like that, we'd love to have you participate in that way. And of course, dealing with Stephanie and Julie, would be certainly a wonderful thing. And if that's what you can do and you want to do it, we'd be glad to have you.
It would be interesting. Of course, obviously, I would have to, if anything does come up from my agency, I would be able to comment at all, both from your ethics side of things and from
Right.
my ethics
Yeah,
side.
no, we understand how that works.
But, yeah, it's not very often that our projects have to go to the Congress. So I don't think that would be you. But like I said, I do have to be at work before 6 tomorrow. So if there are any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. But otherwise,
Okay, no, I think we're good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming.
I won't be in Colorado next month, but I will try and come in September. And if I can't be here in person, I'll join virtually. So, but
Okay.
also probably be in touch with you.
If you want to become an official member of as an associate,
Mhm.
let them know.
Okay,
And I will make the recommendation to the selectmen,
awesome.
to the board, and get you appointed, and make it official.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, I will see y'all, Julie. I'll be in touch.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, y'all too.
Well,
Now it's your turn.
it's my turn. Yes, and I've been interested in natural resource conservation for many years, and I have a small farm in Belchertown. So I've been on the other end of things with developing our farm. We sought out the expertise of the Conservation Commission here in Belchertown back when we were starting 20 years ago. And when we developed our farm, we actually sought the technical assistance before we did anything. And it worked out really well. We've done stormwater runoff mitigation on our place, and we work with the Natural Resource Conservation Commission too for our soil surveys that we've done on our farm. And so I'm just really interested, and I just really am very passionate about environmental issues and having the information available to people and to learn more about that as well. So by coming here and listening and seeing what's happening, and also going to workshops and things like that, I feel it'd be very, very good for me, as well as the environment that I work with as well on the farm. So that's why I'm interested.
No, that's very good. I thank you for your interest, and certainly love to have your participation in part of the process. Certainly, you can join us here at the table. But I'm going to keep going. We've still got more agenda items we got to get done, and the longer it takes before we get to go home.
That's fine.
But by the same token, if you can stay in contact with Julie and Stephanie, and you're welcome to stay. But also I'm saying that, if this is something that interests you and you want to continue with, make sure they know it. And I will write up a letter of recommendation to the selectmen and get you officially appointed as an associate.
Oh.
And we can do that. And, I think if I recall, your schedule had more flexibility. And I think you could actually attend the meetings.
Yes, I can, and I really am interested in the site visits too. I really want to do that as well.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to have your input.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, back to State Street. Is this the Jingers property, or where is this?
Closer to Crispy's. They're
dividing that triangle.
A deed, so it's not an acceptance. Well, so it's an A&R.
No, we already did that. Couple, not last meeting, the one before.
So this is an acceptance of the cutout lot.
Yes, so.
So we've accepted it once, now we're going to accept it again as a cutout lot. Standard letter.
No. The EDIC wants to give up, the town, us, this little fraction.
This isn't the lot that's next to Crispy's, or this is like a little
The
fragment?
next, yeah, so the current lot that's next to Crispy's got cut almost in half. They want to give us the little end triangle further down. And
Oh, the part they can't use?
yes.
Is there
Why did they do that?
is there a benefit to us to accept it? Does it give us access to anything?
And does
Yes,
that
the
become
portion
part
of the
You know
trail might
what?
be on it.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know why they did this. They should have left it in there.
They think that is sellable. This is sellable.
So that's the one that
So
they
yes,
have,
we do want this triangle because it does have the trail on it.
it doesn't have the trail. This is the trail. And if
It does.
they develop this one, they have to relocate the trail.
Yes.
So,
The
so,
trail is on this whole,
so we're accepting this?
yes,
That one is
B2.
this one. And will that go along with into Lake Wallace property?
Yes.
It's all connected.
But that isn't under us, so why are we accepting?
Well, no, Lake Wallace already is.
No,
Or
it's
not? Not compound.
It's a,
the town, but it's.
This is it.
Yeah.
Lake Wallace does not on the GIS, does not say Concom?
No,
I didn't do any.
because we
Then we can do the CR. We don't have to farm that out to Kestrel. If our name's not on the deed,
Oh, and we.
then we can hold the CR
To what?
to Lake Wallace instead of Kestrel. No, I mean, half the issue to this is why is Kestrel getting, well, you already know that as a side.
They monitor it. They do the yearly.
Yeah, but, so the whole hangup on this was Kestrel had to hold the CR because we had our name on Lake Wallace. But if our name is not on Lake Wallace,
Yeah.
why are we giving away the CR?
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, because remember, there was a CR that already existed but never got filed. The CR was already written, drafted, accepted, voted, everything. Except it sat in there, no reflection on you guys. It sat in there and never got filed in Northampton, never got recorded.
And then if you want me to do a deed research on when Lake Wallace property went from EDIC to just town of Belchertown, I don't know the timeline on that.
I don't know that you can change.
It doesn't matter
because it didn't get filed.
Yeah, I mean, if
It's
it,
signed.
Yeah, yeah.
if it was approved, then it should have been.
We
should be
voted,
able to see.
we have in the minutes where we voted it. We approved the CR.
What year was that? Was that like?
It's in the
all
minutes.
time?
I've read it within the past 12 months, I've read it in the minutes where we accepted the CR. And the only holdup was it never got recorded, so it never became official and binding.
Oh, that wasn't like years and years ago? That was in the
No,
past 5 years?
Oh, no, it was more than 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been probably since 2010.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. No, the
It was
property,
since Foley Field got,
it
Yeah,
changed
right
ownership.
when it
Yeah.
got, it got
Yeah.
redeveloped. Because there was a restriction on that.
See, originally it was going to go to the public schools. But then the public schools realized it was going to be a lot more responsibility than they wanted. So then they came and gave it to us. and said, okay, we're gonna give it to the town, through the town, through the Concom.
Was it part of the Lake Wallace accessory?
Yeah, I know it just says.
And at that point, and we spent 2, 3, 4 meetings hashing out all the details of the CR.
You'll have to, for your knowledge, you can.
And actually, so the CR came before the vote on the duck hunting.
Then that's why the selectmen took it away from us.
It's in progress, but we're not quite there yet because of water law.
But it's still gonna have to be reviewed by us anyway. So we're still gonna hash it out, just go through the details and the nitty gritty before. So just because they're writing it does not mean it's automatically gonna be good by us. That's not the case. We're gonna, we're gonna look at it, we're gonna hash it out. We're gonna say, yes, we like this, no, we don't.
Because they didn't. We didn't know.
So what do you want to do with this now? You want to wait?
I
or
mean, you got a field here.
So we're taking, so this is the piece here, going from here, going down across from Tractor Supply, across from the bank, down across from the court. That's the piece we're accepting. Yeah, we may have, I mean, does anybody have any feelings one way or the other on that one?
Why would we accept it? It's not, we don't have Lake Wall.
The select board already signed off on it too, but that's still a good point.
Yeah, the town.
The select board signed already too, but that is a good point. Yeah.
So, I mean, if we sign off on this, I want to see on Mass GIS that we're listed on there like we are for the rail trail.
Say why we're signing off.
Right, they could have chose to just give it to the
Town
town,
of
the select
Belchertown.
board, and
Right.
not involve us, yeah.
Well, we do control the land down at Gingris's, I think.
Over
I
here.
think,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, over this, wait a minute, we're- yes, this piece here. Our name's already on this piece.
But that was purchased, that wasn't part of the state's.
No, that was Gingras. Which,
There's their, that's the.
this lot got cut out of that.
That's where the house is.
Yes,
Tennis court.
and this lot too. So both of these were part of that. So all of this was all part of this one bigger piece. So this piece is ours. When did they sign this?
A week or two ago.
July 6th.
I don't know if there's a rush, if you want me to do some deed research first, or
Just ask the question.
why us and not just the town.
Yeah, I mean, so if our name truly does not appear on Lake Wallace, why are we getting this little sliver
I can double
if we're
check.
not
I'll double check.
So.
I mean, if we had, yeah, this would consolidate our holdings if we had control of Lake Wallace, but we don't.
Well, when you guys are saying Lake Wallace, does the Lake Wallace Trail fall under our authority, or is it under rec department? Like, because
And as far as all the filings, but
Rec manages it.
Yeah.
They have an order of conditions from us to build it,
Is the owner?
but just the town is the landowner.
I mean, I guess for consistency and decision making and that sort of thing, I would bin it in the same way that it is for other aspects of that trail. Just because otherwise you're injecting multiple,
Which we've already had a problem with. A lot of people, a lot of
like too many
departments
fingers
have
in
their
the pie,
hand in Lake
right? Like,
Wallace, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it should,
Plan of land in Belchertown, prepared for the Belchertown Conservation Commission.
Doug
are you
didn't
coming
say
from?
that in his emails at all?
Where are you? Why are you still at work?
ever,
Oh, I didn't know
Anyway.
if you had them printed already.
I would say put this off a month.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything, right?
No, it shouldn't hurt anything.
It's not gonna go anywhere.
I mean, we're ultimately, I think we probably will, but it's like, we'd like to know why. I mean,
Why is it prepared for the Belchertown Conservation
here, we're gonna piecemeal this. We're gonna have control of this, but not this. I mean, it seems like it should all be under one unified control.
Commission?
Sarah was working with Doug, and I think Sarah's the one who did the request for the
See, again, this is one of those projects that she never talked to us about. She just went and did it. And we had no clue.
I don't know the whole story.
I mean, rightfully, I think the Lake Wallace should be controlled by us, but if it isn't, then I don't know why we can't hold the CR. Other than the fact it's town property, but anyway, next up,
We can hold conservation.
consideration of town purchase of lot 10561 next to the Meadows Conservation Area. Where's the Meadows Conservation Area?
It's down in, yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay, Alpha Bay Road.
They want to sell it to us?
Yes. And it is something that can be built upon. It's all surrounded by built land, that little cul-de-sac. But for that one lot, which is about half an acre.
So wait a minute. Oh, that was the hayfield that somebody basically sold the development rights.
Cluster subdivision.
Yeah.
Right, so basically they made it so it's undevelopable. So now they don't want to pay taxes on it. So basically, this is a way to get out of paying taxes. They want to take it off the tax rolls.
Yeah.
But it's already protected, I
It
think.
could be developed. Could be a parking area to access the Meadows Conservation Area.
Oh, this isn't the Meadows Conservation?
It's the one lot that doesn't have a house on it within that cul-de-sac.
Oh, so
But the
this is,
Meadows, that's their open space.
Yes. So this would be a parking area and anything else you want to put in there. It's a little area.
this is that, so this is a single undeveloped house lot that would give us better access.
Yes. And you can't.
So
put
we're not
invoice
talking-
on there. You can build on it.
Yeah.
Building inspector.
So what, they want us to say whether or not we recommend buying it?
Yes.
For how much?
No discussion at that point, just more taking the temperature. Are you guys interested in having a little lot that then gives you access to the meadows for parking?
Can you show me what the?
Yeah.
What
You
else
said
it's
that
Huh?
Can't find a good.
Where's the Meadows Conservation?
So this is the one that's down across from Medic Comment. There's was it Catherine Drive that goes in there? And then just beyond Catherine Drive's that great big mowing field, hay field. It's multiple acres and pretty good sized field. And yeah, it's all open space that we control. It was open spaces. 12, 15 acres.
So it's this.
It's pretty good size parcel.
So the conservation area looks like this, and it kind of gets that guy. It's crude.
So we don't have any frontage to it directly or no?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We do have an access point, but it's like a 50-foot strip.
Right here,
Yeah.
So they're thinking, and I think there's an unsold house lot right next to that. So they're asking basically, do we want that unsold house lot to add to our right of way?
Is there trails on this?
There's a little, you can't see it, but there is a little trail. In fact, Stephanie found there's actually work done
There's
to
a
actually
tremendous
start building a
amount of
trail
public
that
Traffic
Erica
on that street.
started. So there's gravel or sand, just sand.
It's just sand.
Sand even?
It's
There's
a-
a little bit of trail, it's like
I mean,
habitat.
multiple
And
times
the
a week.
DPW is mowing the whole entire lot.
So is it parking a problem?
So,
I don't know, but
According to this,
yeah,
this,
according to.
you know what? Everybody else, if you you know, we're not making a decision here. They're just taking a temperature. I'm interested, but I'm interested. I'd love to hear what the deal is, if there is one.
So it's currently valued at about $70,000. It's assumed that it's a building lot. And the Treasury says they get about $1,000 and maybe $10.
You know, if we're not being asked to make the decision, they just want to know if we're interested. Yeah, we're interested. But, you know, that's not to say that's not a command to go get it, and it's not a command to, you know,
So then we could take next steps to learn more about what are they interested in.
more information.
Yeah, keep our eyes open for grants or TPC or.
Yeah. You know, so next up, 60, we need a parcel for 6 per share, and we need either a full or for 67 South Liberty.
Yes.
60.
South Liberty. So we need a reissue and a partial for 6 Berkshire. So.
I don't like calling that a reissue. I mean, it's just,
Well, so.
I understand you explained what's going on, and I get it, but
No, so this, so if you guys remember, this is 6 and 8 Berkshire Ave. We did 6, same problem. But this order is from 2003, and it has a complete COC. It was just never recorded, so that's why
so, but then it got caught up because it's historical. It got caught up in the filing for the trail.
this one was the closing of the dump for the state school.
The dump,
That was this 2000.
which is nowhere even geographically, nowhere even connected to this.
Put back in whatever.
Well, back in 1980, yeah, it was all one property.
So the deeds are still all.
So, wait a minute, what about the dump?
So that's what this 2003 order was for, is to close it.
So,
It has
to
a full,
cap it.
it has a full COC that was never recorded. So I wonder if we can
The state never-
reissue the COC so we can record it and clear it, because the town is trying to sell 6, 8 Berkshire Ave.
So to clean up paperwork, you'd like us to,
That's not.
yeah, but in 1980
Historically,
it
it
was,
was.
because the state school didn't close till 93.
So, but they didn't, well, I'm on the Lamson Brook board. So that's part of the Lamson Brook.
Yeah,
Property, that's a whole separate piece of property.
it is now, it wasn't
Has it,
then.
has it always been?
No.
In when it was the state school, it was one contiguous property.
EDIC hasn't taken, there's not a deed that's been issued since 1980?
So
Yeah,
historically
it didn't
speaking,
clear
Yeah. We spent hours researching.
so historically speaking, just so you know, Chestnut Hill School, Swift River School, the PD, Senior Center, Tractor Supply, the bank, all of that was all state school property. So and in 1980, that was all part of the state school. So you may, in the future, you may yet come up with issues for any of these lots. If they're going back to 1980 as to what was a historical lot, that was all part of this property. So where Tractor Supply is, the bank, Pride, across the street, no, where the doctor's office across the street is. I can't even think of that building, on the other side of 21. Yeah, that was part of this lot.
So the deeds are still all.
And they're getting ready to cut out more. Anyway,
So there's a reissue.
so the dump, yeah, we can clear the dump off the boards.
The question is, do you want to make a motion to reissue COC for DEP file number 104526? Complete COC.
So moved.
We got a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
And then we, for the same exact reason, do a partial. This 2002 order was phase 2 of Lake Wallace Trail. Same exact.
2002.
Yeah. Yeah, so last time we had this problem.
I was brand new on the board. Well, not brand new, but.
Last time we had this problem, the explanation from Bucky Sparkle.
Remembering filing from 2002.
So even though.
Rob Rizzo is still chair.
Property predates the trail, the chain of title and Belchertown Assessor's Department still references an old book and page from before these lots were cut out of the state school property. So it's these old, we're still referencing old deeds.
What was phase 2? That was in 2002?
Yes.
2002 would have been them cutting out the lot that goes from the administration building all the way, basically most of Berkshire Ave and Tagel, that would have all been cut out in phase.
2022.
Oh, you said 2002, that's why I was questioning. I'm trying to think, what the hell happened in 2002? That would have been the great date, that would have been the.
We never issued a certificate. This is.
Correct, this is our second partial, because 6 and 8 Berkshire both have the same problem, and the town is. presumably
So wait a minute,
selling
so this one I am going to ask, do we really want to do that? Because we still have issues down there that are not resolved.
Yes.
So I don't know that I want to issue any sort of certificate. But I'm just but one person.
Quite understand why we need to.
Just so the town can sell this singular building, singular parcel just has one building on it. It's not,
Which parcel are they looking to sell? Oh, number 6.
6.
Which is that?
Which is the one closest behind the senior center.
It's the next building down from, it's where Great Threads,
It is great, yeah.
I mean, yes, it is the building that Great Threads was in.
We can't sell it until
We sign off.
all these things
So this is an A&R lot basically out of
are.
the,
Well, this the partial. Since the,
So can I say, the partial was already signed at one point,
oh,
That
it
was for a
was.
different lot.
1073.
Yes, but that was for 8 Berkshire Ave only.
oh, for 8 for the building next
We've
door.
done it for 8.
And so
I thought that was
2 years ago.
a partial for the trail, since this building doesn't go anywhere, this building is, and this lot isn't anywhere near the trail.
No, this is for
Doesn't
the,
have anything to do with the trail. It's
Correct.
like issuing a partial for a lot,
A
a
unit
condo
in a
that's
condo.
outside of the buffer zone.
this is one building east of the,
Not even close to that.
this is one building east of the community television.
Yeah.
And it's to the south of Berkshire Ave, and it's pinched between Berkshire Ave and if you go way off, between Berkshire and State.
We should still
So
get our basics.
if we already issue it, I'm gonna move that we reissue.
Well,
This
no,
one
we
is
haven't
partial.
issued for this building, we issued for the building next door.
This will be the second partial that we.
Well, then I move that we issue partial.
Yeah.
It still doesn't give them a full
Right.
for the.
But,
work.
but it's
We
actually,
should
it
still
doesn't
get-
actually, it's not inclusive of any part of the trail.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So we're not in any way,
We should still get the mowing done.
not worried about that.
All right, I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's good, because I had already signed it. Okay, I think we've taken care of that. Next, we got, extend the order of conditions for the Gulf Road culvert. So I guess they're having problems funding that.
So I I just happened to stumble upon that, 'cause it's on our Conservation Commission webpage as like projects we presumably are proud of and know about. And I'm like, what's this? And then I'm like,
Has it been
Mass
3
River-
years already?
It has been 3 years.
2 years, 2.5
So I
years?
went- Now, there is a Mass Ready Act that extended orders two extra years, but I think to be on the safe side, just to get it on your radar, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and reissue for 3 years. So it's keeping everybody like aware of it. It looks like a lot of work went into it.
Oh, there's a lot of work.
This is right up by Scarborough.
Yes.
Yes, this is just down the hill from the intersection.
That whole, yeah.
This is the one where they anticipate, once they do it, they're gonna have the road closed for 3 to 4 months.
I move the reissue, the 3-year extension.
Extend 3 years. So instead of it extending till, it would have normally ended on, it's 7/12/2026, but I think it's 9/12/2026. It would go till 2029. 9/12/2029.
Yeah.
What about the permit extension?
Well, so you don't really have to do this because there's these 2 years, but
Yeah.
is this coming for you in normal, in past meetings, people talk about this extension, this 2-year automatic?
I mean, we've done extensions, but,
I just feel like it-
Under the tolling,
Yes,
it is already extended
that's what I'm saying.
2 years.
Yeah, so you don't have to do any of this, but I just thought it would.
So if we extend it
It's not
3
gonna hurt
years,
anything.
it's going to extend it 5 years.
You can do 5 years. You want to do that?
No, but with the 2 years and our
Yes.
3-year, it's going to be 5.
Well, we can say how long we would like this extended till right now.
we can put an end date on it.
If you want to extend it, how long would you like to extend it? 2, 3, 5?
At what point would you want to re-review the whole project? Basically what you're asking.
Let me see how old it is.
It looked like it was very expensive to do, and maybe there was not.
It's going to be a very extensive project.
Neighbors, maybe.
They are going to basically create a concrete bridge. They're going to have to pour footings and pour walls and pour a bridge deck and put in structural steel and everything else in lieu of the culverts that are there. They anticipated a 3 to 4 month complete road closure while this work was being done. This is a major project, and they were talking several $1 million in doing it. And you know, they got the permitting already, and it's once they found the funding, then they were going to actually execute it. But you know, the scope of the project was such that they.
Is this DPW asking?
Yes, Steve Williams did the application.
Because we know how much, we asked DPW if they wanted to ask for an extension, because we know how much went into just getting the permit.
And I'm sure Linda was all for it.
I would say if you're normally thinking about the 2-year automatic extension, then go ahead and include that in the extension. Otherwise, just pretend it doesn't even exist. Just give it 3 years. They extend it until
But it still
2029.
it still gets the 2 years.
Yeah, it does.
On top of that, so it's got 5.
So it's already extended to 28?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're saying, so if we add 3 years, it goes to 32?
You can give it 1 year, go to 29, 9, 12, 29, say I'm giving it a 1-year extension on top of the Mass Ready Act automatic extension, and put that on the cover letter.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they can ask for another.
Yeah, just to get it kind of up on the radar screen. I just didn't want it to disappear if it was important to somebody. I mean,
Yeah, you'd have them
them
break ground and find out they didn't have a valid order anymore.
Yeah.
Just use the 2 years tolling and then the 1 year.
So,
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Passes.
Do we need to do a COC for 67 South?
Yeah, they're working on that, I think. They are. They got to get the paperwork up, I assume. Because I've already mentioned it. I know they said, yeah, they got to do it. So, yeah, we're looking for 67 South Washington, or South Liberty, I mean. And then violations at 316 and 32. What is this?
before you get too far into another one. Yeah. So 67 Liberty Street, we did a site visit there are some issues in the fact that the level spreaders are not present along the road. However, there are no clear signs that there's water escaping off the road and into the wetland. And there is a swale there on the upgradient side of Beaver.
That is the original plan. The order did not require an as.
When was the order?
About 20 years ago.
2005.
Where is this?
67 would be
I think it's behind Liberty.
couple hundred yards south of the West Street intersection.
Yeah, it is Liberty Orchards.
Be on the
family
left.
Property. Liberty Orchard.
Same side as it? Liberty
Yeah.
Orchard?
it is-
Now Liberty
it's that
Orchards was
family.
140 something.
I don't remember.
Liberty Landscape.
Liberty Blues. That's what it is, Liberty Blues.
I don't remember
So the other
So
thing that-
20 years ago, that would have been 205, 06, Leanne. It would have been before our revised regulations. So basically, our order of conditions specified level spreaders, but they're not there. What else? Anything else?
There's a swale instead. So there's an extra road that apparently it's not in the plan, but apparently it was a grassed road and they improved it with gravel to create access to a shed that is, it kind of goes, I can find out where it goes.
Where's the,
So as you're driving around the corner here, heading toward the house, at some point it kind of follows these contours and it is probably close to the 25, but certainly within 50. And at some point you get to a shed. A big building. Was this road there? So the owner says that he walked it with Leanne and that there was erosion controls put here along the wetland. But the fact is that this road didn't show up on the original plan, which is a little bit odd. You know, but maybe that's just how things were.
I think they went and did it on their own, didn't
Yeah.
check with us.
So
So,
he acknowledges that this was done without approval. But what's confusing to me is why it's not here. That would be
Was it a
strange.
farm lane?
Sounds like it, yeah. There was a whole apple orchard there and there's even apples apparently still here next to this farm pond that was created for irrigation.
so
It was agricultural.
why do they need this COC now?
So that brings us to their,
Oh, the plot thickens.
yeah, no, so it's just the attorneys found this open order expired when they came in for a right of first refusal, which is also big for you. For 19.03 South Liberty Street. Do you want this 1 acre lot? You're interested in making a recommendation to, exert your right of first refusal. It's 1 acre and it's probably.
Well, they can't sell it, they can't sell it until we sign off.
Well, it didn't seem clear. We went up to the assessor.
So
office and
the
asked
attorneys,
to-
if the attorneys are clearing the deeds, that's what they're doing right now. And then that's where the right of first refusal is coming from, so they can't do anything till they get the COC. I would tell them that the pressure is on them to get, make us happy for this road and this building.
So how about, would you want to recommend an after the fact RDA or?
David, do you want to look at this?
It looks like something you would permit theoretically, but maybe, it's weird that there was no road there on the plan to me.
Well, that doesn't matter. It sounds like they went and did it. What kind of building is it? Did the building look like something that does planning board, do they have any records of the building upstairs?
We haven't looked at it. It's big enough to build it. It's probably 1,000 square foot.
I never saw this one.
I would check with them real quick and see if they have any building permits taken out for the building. Or did they do something completely off the radar?
Okay. So table this till August.
Yeah, and we can table the right of first refusal till August as well.
So was it,
And in the meantime, if we can expedite this, if it looks like it's all coming together, you can let one of us know and we can drive down there and really eyeball it so that we can deal with this affirmative, however we deal with it. Well, we can deal with it on the 17th. So that, one way or the other.
So it's below West Street.
It's south of West Street, just a little ways on the east side of the road.
East side of the road. I never saw it.
I know where there's a low spot in there. I can picture right where that pond is. It's been a long time since I delivered mail down there.
So the one thing I would say we should issue a notice of violation for and have them removed is that there are big piles of compost right along this home within the 25 to 50, maybe even closer, I don't know. It's all compost, leaf compost.
So is this an active farm? So if it's active landscaping, that's not agriculture.
They have some apple trees, some blueberries. What do you consider?
I think it's a garden.
Yeah, it's more of a personal.
If it's personal, no. If they're not filing a Schedule F on their form, on their taxes, if they're not filing a Schedule F, then as far as that's my benchmark. Are you filing it? Are you declaring income from your agricultural activities? And agricultural activities is not your landscaping business.
Oh, well, it is in chapters, but we don't know which one. Yeah, well, yeah, we do know which.
I see the shed on here. There's a whole road. There's a whole,
61B.
Open space and recreation, so that's not A. So they either need to show us a Schedule F that they have been filing Schedule F. So under agriculture, they can do work like that in the 25 to 50 without talking to us.
Except that wasn't agricultural land, that was a forest. And they extended, that's what
Right.
we're talking about.
Well, it is now, that's why, but
No, that doesn't count.
it doesn't count. You and I know that. But if they're using it for agricultural purposes,
Now, it had to be in 1982, 3 out of the last 5.
right, but the fact is that I'm not trying to give them an out, but it's up to them to show us that they are. And if they can't show it, then it's like, then and they don't have a building permit for that building.
Okay, well, I think we can take it from here.
Yeah.
We can take it from here. We'll do some walk around.
I gotta cut out in like 15 minutes, so if there's anything you need to vote on.
Do you want to relate, do you want to move the violations in mail to the 3 forest cutting plans and the 2 violations?
Forest cutting plans are just basically a notification. I'm not worried about that. Emergency cert, what are we, 480, I forget.
So there's the Beaver Dam. We talked about this.
Yeah, refresh my memory.
Chauncey Walker Street.
I know where it is.
Farm.
It's down where the old chicken coops were,
They came
on the
before you in
corner there, just by
2022.
Granby Road.
They came before you with emergency cert for the same thing in 2022.
The town did?
No, the owner of the Beaver Dam is
Right.
now clogging again. There was no beaver deceiver ever installed. So this would allow them to install one.
They want to
DPW.
breach it?
So they did already breach it. This was about to overtop.
Overtop what? What right away? So the town asked for the breach?
Yes. So they're asking.
The Board of Health approved it.
Yeah. They've already removed the mitigation. It's already started.
So we're just approving what's already been done?
Yes.
Okay, so are we approving what they already did?
Yes.
So moved.
Second, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's ratified.
Let me get you that.
And unless you tell me otherwise, I'm going to take Lake Holland, pass that off. So only thing left is 67 we've done. So 316 and 32.
Washington Street.
So 316 is down past the canal on the right. Not far past the canal. It might be that lot right beyond the canal or a couple lots beyond it.
On North Washington.
That's where 316 is, yes.
What's the violation?
I walked there, they did a lot of cutting, they were cutting.
Well, the
away.
canal's after the underpass, and this is just beyond the canal.
It's between them.
288's between the canal and the underpass.
History on that. There's a history on that.
Yeah, there is a history on that.
On the right hand side.
Yes.
Going south.
Comes out.
Oh, is this that new lot they snuck in between 288 and the canal? I thought 316 was beyond the canal.
Yeah, there's one house in the front and one house in the back. This
Yeah.
is the one right on the road.
And this is the one right on the road?
Yeah.
So there's a BBW, it's a very thin little finger, I walked it.
That's the 288 driveway. So that's the canal.
Yeah.
Okay, so 316, okay. So what's the issue?
So they did a lot of cutting of all of the vegetation, big trees. And I walked it, it did not look like they were cutting in the actual buffer zone, or sorry, the BBW, the finger BBW that's shown here on this plan.
I saw this driving by. I
I'm
wondered
trying to
about this
remember
for
if that
weeks,
means-
if it was like allowed or not and stuff.
We were kind of keeping an eye on it,
Yeah.
and then I was like, it might be getting worse, so.
So here's the.
We were very, very restrictive on them. So apparently they've now thought we
They've
stopped looking.
forgotten.
And so now, no, they haven't forgotten. They're, a tree here, a tree there, and pretty soon now we got another 50 feet or 100 feet cleared.
And
So
are
it's
they
this one,
stumping? Is
right?
there earth disturbance or is
Yeah.
it just tree?
So it's this one right here. So
That's this.
this
Just
driveway right
driving
here
by,
is
it looked
Wagner's.
Like there was, or maybe just because they made such a mess. with all
There's this lot. back here.
So here's the road, here's the
Yeah.
railroad track. Oh, there's the railroad
See,
tracks.
right here, look at, right here, here's Wagner.
Yep.
This is another driveway that goes back to this parcel. It's this one,
Yeah. Okay, so Wagner's is over here.
yeah.
Okay, so this one, the one right next to the canal is the one we're talking about.
There was a permit on that.
Yep.
Yes, I remember it. We were very
2000,
restrictive with them on what they could do because of their proximity to the canal.
What was the intent of the action to begin with? Like, why were they cutting
They were
trees?
worried about all the trees falling on their property.
Yeah,
Their driveway and onto their house, although it's a very large distance. to the
So-
house.
Yeah. Yeah.
We told them that at the time, and so now they've been taking it upon themselves to cut. They've been expanding their boundaries regardless of what we said.
So here's-
I'm like doing an enforcement order and replant it all
Okay.
Okay.
in white pine.
It did look like, the only good thing I could see about
You
all
want
this
to do
is
this
it
again
was,
in 20 years?
It looked like upland. There was no vegetation.
Yeah, no, it is all upland. It was their proximity to the canal.
That finger.
So you can see the catch basin.
So what's the resource? Is it, it's not river?
It's the canal.
Yeah, what's that?
It's
What's the
actually
canal
100
class?
No,
ORW, outstanding resource water, because it's a drinking water supply.
Actually, this does not flow into the canal.
What doesn't?
Oh,
This border.
No, it does not.
it's kind of an
So
isolated
it
finger.
is not,
Yeah.
it is not an ORW.
No, but the canal is.
The canal is, yeah. But the canal is also not a river.
Right.
The
It's
canal-
not riverfront. No, I know
I
that.
thought it looked like intermittent stream, not a 200-foot riverfront area after reading, because it's a canal.
No, it was just a lot of wetland in that lot.
Yes. And you can see there's like.
Well, I
Okay,
mean, they
enforcement
have,
order will draft.
Okay.
hold the file.
Yeah, pull the file because that should have a lot of specifics. I actually remember it. And we haggled a lot about them. We haggled about the trees they could cut.
It's the one with property.
There was a very definite limit of work on that one. A very well-defined limit of work of what we allowed them to do and not do. That should be well covered in the minutes. Is there anything, 32 Cordner? 32 Cordner.
That is in progress. They're being very responsive. We sent out letters. They're progressing along with taking out debris out of the wetland that's. looks like it's-
Oh, right, you did tell me about
So
that.
they have given us timely emails. We have a timeline.
If you're satisfied, we're satisfied for the moment. Okay, anything?
Considering good,
I mean, there's no action that we can do other than we can make comments.
kind of anyway.
Yeah,
There's
but
no one
When I was in college.
Where's the one on the Daniel Shays?
I was ruined. Got a bad back from the.
In Amherst Road? I would just want to know generally where are they working, either of those.
Who's Bernice's son?
The landowner is 680.
Don't remind me.
680 Daniel Shays?
Yeah.
Theatrics. So it's up by Kimball Street, across the street from Kimball.
He put
Yep,
all the
just
shades
north of
down,
Kimball.
Yeah.
front windows.
Oh,
turned off
680
the
ears, yes, okay.
So it looked like
And,
they were totally closed.
And what about Amherst Road?
And he said, oh, it hurts my eye.
I don't know that name.
Will.
Yeah, no idea. Amherst Road. There's no other locus on the.
I suppose I could look it up.
Before you get to Federal Street, or like before you go down the hill.
So down
like
near
that-
Gulf Road?
No, not that, no, just past Bay.
So Amherst Road doesn't even start until the bottom of the hill.
Vacation must be.
Amherst
really
Road
late.
doesn't start until D and F. Amherst Road doesn't even begin till way past
Doesn't it
Allen
begin
Road.
right at Federal?
No, Federal starts at 9 and 202. Federal continues all the way past Allen Road, and when you get to the bottom of the hill, cuts to the left towards the town beach. That's the beginning of Amherst Road.
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, so it's, okay. So right after, so right there up on the hill, so that's, so we're abutting that.
Are we?
If it's to the right,
Holland. Yes.
yeah, because we own land right up, coming up almost next to Allen Road, so yes, so anything being to the right there would be abutting up against us. The only, so the comments there that I would have is make sure that they don't go in and cut our property, the town property. Because, okay, we have a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody want to stay? We're done.